Yeah, exactly. Good morning, everybody. That's Sheepdogs Feeling Good. Got that off the Twitter from Hockey Soraka 72. Looks like his Twitter handle, and I didn't even get to enjoy the song. Sheepdogs and Feeling Good. Jim Norton feeling tired. That's how we start today.
Yeah, I didn't get in until 3.
3 in the morning. And just want to say quickly good morning to Vic Henley to my right.
Yes, I was on the elevator with him. He didn't even look up. He didn't know we were on the elevator together. He's that tired.
I didn't know I was on the elevator.
Oh, my God.
I thought I was still home.
Okay, I'm like, hey, Jim. And he's like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Jimmy had a big night. I was checking my Twitter late, right before I went to bed, and I saw a picture with Jim Norton and Bob De Niro.
Oh, wow, right. I heard that. Lenny Marcus told me that was going on. He was down at the Village Underground or the Cellar?
Village Underground, yeah. It's a movie called The Comedian in New York. SD called me a couple days ago and said, like, on Friday, do you want to do this thing on Tuesday where we're doing it? You know, I knew De Niro was moving. I was like, oh, why wouldn't I be involved? I'm just such a loser. You know, I was really down on myself. And, I got the call. It was like where he was going to walk by the comedian's table as his character.
Right. He's playing a comic, right?
He's playing a comedian, old school comic.
Right.
And we talked to him a little bit and interact with him. And of course I did it. So we get there in the afternoon. You know, it's running. They said it's running behind. And my friend Jessica Kierson, you know Jessica?
I know of her.
Yeah, she's funny, but she's like consulting him and helping him a lot. And she's fucking ballsy. Like, you know, if something's wrong, she'll go, no, if it's wrong. Like, she's really fearless.
Wow.
So we wound up sitting there, and Nick DiPaolo did it. It was myself, Nick DiPaolo, Esty at the table, and Edie Falco, and then he has to walk by.
Oh, Edie Falco's in the movie as well?
Yes, she plays his manager.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, so it was, and Hannibal Buress.
Right.
And so we first see him, like, we're there for like 2.5 hours. We finally, it's our turn to shoot. They look, and he just walks in. He's very quiet. On everything everyone says about it. The guy's like, he's like a church mouse. And he just kind of says hello, and we all introduce ourselves. And he's very nice. He introduces us to his son. And then he walks by, and like, you don't see him, and Taylor Hackford's the director. And you know who he is?
Officer and a Gentleman, I think, goes all the way back to that, maybe.
He did Ray, he did
he's done a million things, right? So, he goes that far back, right?
Yeah, he's very good.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, he's going to walk by, and they're just kind of giving us room to improv our dialogue with him. So it was fun, just kind of.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then in the scene after that, he sits down with us. He gets to actually sit with us for a couple minutes.
Right.
And so it took a couple hours with the cameras and all that stuff. And then I'm doing a terrible job. He didn't talk much in between.
It sounds like a good lineup. Who wouldn't want to sit at that table?
I literally am a very bad storyteller, which is really weird that I've chosen this fucking field. How do I make it work with De Niro's story fast and boring?
How do you make a De Niro story boring?
I don't know.
It's not boring, though. Jimmy's been wanting a picture with Bob De Niro. I'm calling him Bob now because I feel like
you're
Jimmy,
one step away.
Yeah, that Jimmy knows the guy now.
Well, you start. Everyone calls him Bob on the set.
Yeah.
And towards the end, I wasn't even. It was so funny. I wasn't even nervous. Like, it was like we're improvising lines with him. I'm firing out pretty fucking dirty things.
Yeah.
And it was so big a moment, like just to act with someone like that or do anything with, that you just stop being nervous. It was weird. It was like,
that's cool though. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, not even.
That's what they say. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. All right. And then he's coming over, and then he sits with us, and I'm just trying lines I want to try, and Nick DiPaolo's trying lines he wants to try. It was really fun.
You think they're going to use any of the lines?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They were very happy with it. They were like, yeah, just keep doing that, more of that.
And knowing you a little bit, I think you're going to search out that footage.
You know, I don't know.
If it never makes the movie, Jimmy's going to be on someone's ass.
I
would going to be on someone's ass like, you know that footage we shot that day?
Right. I dream
you think I could have a copy of that?
I dream of all the lost B-roll from the Bruno when we were sitting here with Sasha a couple of weeks ago. Sitting here, I'm like, God damn, I just started thinking of all the B-roll things.
Because it exists.
It totally exists somewhere.
And they keep it.
I know you're going to look for that eventually.
Well, I'll see what makes it in the movie. I know that, I should have a line or so in the movie. It's not a big scene. It was just, for us, it was just very, very fun.
Yeah. Oh my God, who cares? It's a big scene. You're with Bob De Niro.
And he sat with us for a few minutes after when everybody was clearing out. And then we wound up just being me, him, Nick, Esty, and Jessica just talking
Edie
for about 15
Falco,
minutes.
she's supposed to be pretty good too.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she's supposed to be amazing. Tom Van Horn's wife. Tom Van Horn's a comic, and his wife was her personal assistant for 7 or 8 years on The Sopranos.
Did you actually say Edie Falco is terrific? Is supposed to be good or whatever?
a really nice person.
Oh, a person. Okay, because her acting is ridiculous.
No, I mean...
Oh, you meant as a person.
As a person,
okay,
yeah. Van Horn's wife was her assistant. Like, Van Horn's Christmas card one year, they had Van Horn's little boy, who was 5 at the time, and he's got Gandolfini in a headlock like he's punching him. And Gandolfini was all had makeup on where he had been in a fight scene. So their Christmas card that year was Jackson Van Horn, like, you better be good.
Make him believe he's beating him up.
She's supposed to be a lovely, just down-to-earth, wonderful person.
I talked to her a little bit in between takes. We were outside drinking coffee, and she was very nice. Yeah. But it's weird when he's in, like, when it's him, no one else matters. Like, you don't care about any other celebrities that are there.
Sure.
Is everybody just making believe they're not looking at him as they're looking at him?
Right.
I've been in those situations.
Of course.
The whole room is staring at the big A-lister, but making believe. Like, having a little chit-chat, but their peripheral is always looking at the guy.
They weren't as much because I think they're used to him because, it's like, it was a closed set, and it's like one of those things where they all...
Yeah, they got a job to do.
And they've all worked around big people before, and they've been seeing him probably for a month or so, or however long they've been shooting.
Yeah.
So, and then there was the thing where he was going to do stand-up at night at the Village Underground. But they started getting so late. I went home. I was going to come back for the 11 o'clock show. Like, I got to see this. And they asked me maybe I could host it because Hannibal had to leave and go do something. So I'm home. And they're like, how far away are you? I'm like, I'm close. I'm eating chicken in my underwear. I'm fucking eating chicken in my underwear.
But you were smart to say I'm close.
Chicken fingers or chicken on the bone?
An entire half-baked chicken from Chirping Chicken.
Love Chirping Chicken.
I love Chirping Chicken.
And they're like, okay, because Taylor Hackford wanted to know that he's probably doing these other things where he has to be brought on as his character. Do you want to like fuck with the audience a little bit and then bring him on as his character? And I'm like, yeah. And I just fucking literally stood up, walked out the door, got my jacket with my stuff, threw my dinner in the garbage, and hopped in a fucking taxi.
As you should.
Because I knew I was getting back down there. I just didn't know it was going to be that soon.
Yeah.
So I get down there, and I got to play on stage for a few minutes, and then bring him on as his...
And he did a set?
No, a little bit of pickup stuff they had to do, but he went on as Jackie.
And who was the audience?
They were extras.
They were extras.
Amazing. It was like a regular audience. I mean, they were just...
How weird is that the extras play a comedy audience?
I worked a little bit on Man in the Moon, the Andy Kaufman thing with Jim Carrey, and same thing. They were redoing that Letterman scene where he got in the fight with the wrestler Jerry Lawler, and they had the Letterman audience filled with extras.
Wow.
Acting right. And
you still felt like you had to be funny, but they were more giving than a regular audience if you had to reach. Like I wasn't shooting. I was just fucking doing this to get him on stage.
That's still great, though. How old was his son? You said
his son was pretty young. He was probably a young teenager.
Okay.
Yeah, he had kids a little later.
Just hanging out with Dad, though.
Yeah, he just came to the set with his dad, hanging out.
How bad do you want the extras to be your audience every night? Because they're going to give you a little extra.
They were so fucking good. So I do that. I bring him on. You know how it is. A couple of pals were acting. They do a little hugging. You know how a couple of men do. But everything is running very late. So now he was advertised as Robert De Niro going on stage. He asked to be on, but again, he was exhausted. Like he had been going since probably like 7 that morning, and now it's like 12 at night. It was a fucking really long day. So they said what we're going to do is they're going to bring the regular audience in, get the extras out because these people want to come see him, and he was just, I think, too tired to do a set. What they did was they actually wound up shooting something with the regular audience that they probably weren't going to do, which is they told me, Taylor Hackford goes on stage. He goes, all right, Jim Norton he tells them what the movie's about. And, he goes, Jim Norton's going to come on stage and perform. And, while this is happening, they're shooting De Niro in the back of the room. Very visible, pacing back and forth, staring at me. Just like he's this older comic, just resentful of what's going on.
Yeah, got it. That's cool.
Just walking back and forth, and they go, all right, but here's the thing. When you guys in the back, when Robert De Niro is walking in front of you, you can't look at him because you're supposed to be watching this show. This guy is like an old comic. He's not De Niro. So if you look at him, we're going to move. And so I had to go on and perform, and all the cameras were facing away from me, which I pointed out.
Yeah, of course you would.
If there's one thing that's symbolic of my career, is that there's a De Niro movie and the cameras are pointing away from me.
The opposite direction.
They're shooting the opposite direction.
But it's weird. I'm doing my fucking act, and he's just pacing back and forth, and for some reason it just comfortable.
That's pretty cool.
Because you know that it's a weird setup. And everybody in the audience knew it was a weird setup. So then they stopped doing that, and then they turned the cameras around because they had 4 comedians that were going to film. Ryan Hamilton, Ida Rodriguez, Shang Wang, and Greer Barnes.
Shang
for
Wang.
the movie, yeah. So they turned the cameras around, and then De Niro just went up first. I was supposed to bring him on, but then he just kind of walked on and just thanked the audience very much for coming, and he was very nice.
Right.
But he's like, I have too much respect for comedy to get up and try it like this, you know.
He said that?
Yeah, he was really shy, but he was very
Pretty
nice.
cool to hear, right?
I think he was just very, very tired, and it was
Yeah.
a long fucking day. So I just hosted that show till about 2:40 it ended.
2:40 in the morning.
Yeah.
It's only a few hours ago.
Yeah, it was a matter of just bringing everybody on and doing some material in between, and they had a camera reload, so I just did material while that was happening.
We got a tired Jimmy today then.
Yeah, but it was weird at one point. You're doing your act, you just look at fucking there's De Niro and Edie Falco watching you, and I'm talking about blowing fucking Caitlyn Jenner.
Did you see them laughing?
Yeah, that was fun. It was good. Yeah, it was nice.
I mean, they should be laughing, but you never know because they're big stars. And then you got your picture with Bob.
I didn't mean to do a real Kirk Cinnamon smile. I was so fucking happy.
I've never seen you happier.
But he sat and talked to us upstairs for a while when we first shot in the afternoon. Really nice. And then he's leaving, and I'm like, "Do you mind if I take a selfie?" And he goes, "No." He was fine, and I knew he wouldn't mind. There was 5 of us. The whole crew had cleared out.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Should I sit between you two, me and Nick?" And I'm like, because I was going to get one in Nick, but I'm like, "No, we're doing." So I'm like, "No, you'll get him in a second."
I was going to say,
over Nick.
Yeah, I was going to say.
No, but Nick's all panicky. Nick's like, "Dude, if you're going to get one," I'm like, "Relax, you'll get it."
So I just pushed him to the side.
I took these 2. I'm like, I'm taking my picture. So he took the picture.
You would have pushed him in front of a cab to get a selfie with De Niro.
I was like, and Jessica took the photos, and then I asked for Nick. I'm like, "Can he take one with you?" He goes, "Yeah." Like, and I knew he would be fine.
I was going to ask you. I bet DePaulo was on cloud 9.
He was.
I bet
Nick
he
was
on
great.
Cloud 9.
That's
a wonderful. That's a perfect group to be. I bet Esty was on cloud 9.
Yeah, and she didn't fumble the lines.
I was going to say, I hope she makes it in the movie. It'll be just fabulous. You know.
She is.
Oh, great.
De Niro says her name to her.
She's the queen of cameos.
Well, that's perfect. That is absolutely. Yeah.
She's a train wreck on the subway.
She did this other HBO thing for Judd, and his wife was there too. Leslie Mann was there doing a scene. Chris Rock came in just to watch.
That's so cool.
It was really fun. Star-studded evening.
That was the place to be last night. And Jim Norton, you got to see the picture he took with De Niro. Like I said, I've known Jimmy a long time. I've never seen you happier.
Yeah, it's funny. You know,
and I know you weren't like doing a silly Kurt Cinnamon smile. That was you losing your mind.
Genuine Norton
with
glowing.
happiness.
That was genuine joy. And on Friday, it was funny. I wasn't even this crazy with Gwyneth. I mean, it was really weird to be this hyped up for a photo.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, good for you, Jim Norton. Sounds like a great night.
When Lenny was laying it down for me last night, I was like, "Why aren't you down there?" We were both, at the comic strip talking to 11 people.
Yeah.
While real comedy was going on downtown.
I saw him in the afternoon. He did his podcast, and then I forget what I was going to say. I'm tired.
He said Brennan is just wonderful on the podcast.
I'm sure he is. I mean, I saw those guys yesterday afternoon. Jimmy Carr. I saw Jimmy Carr for a while. He came down.
Did he like his time on the show?
Oh, he loved it. Yeah, he had a really good time. He was talking to Esty about it. And
good.
He came in. It was so funny because as I'm watching this thing happen with De Niro was doing something on stage with Jessica where they were kind of heckling back and forth, and everyone's laughing and having fun. But there's that one table in the corner of the comedians just watching. It was really fun to watch the comedians watching. It's like they're just unmovable.
That's perfectly said.
Unmovable.
That's right. Just right there, rooted,
and just watching. Todd Barry was there.
Sure, of course.
Ray Allen and Jimmy Carr, of course.
That's wonderful. We got Louie Anderson on his way up already.
Oh, we'll just talk to him.
Should we take a quick break before that, maybe?
We've only talking 15 minutes.
I know, but then we might have to go all the way to like almost 9 o'clock if we don't break. Whatever.
It's your show.
I don't mind. The more we talk, the faster we are to the end. I'm tired.
Someone is going to be watching the clock.
I'm tired today, man.
Point the cameras away from me.
I was sort of watching the clock yesterday because I was tired from going to a dumb hockey game. The Jimmy had a much better night.
Yeah, it was good, man. It's probably one of the best nights I've ever had.
It sounds like, I love those.
Well, that smile certainly says it all. all, so I have no doubt.
It wasn't intentional, though, to be such a stupid Kirk Cinnamon smile. It just I got another one where I just tweeted where it's a regular.
Yeah, let me see that one.
That's just more of a normal, but he's not smiling as much in that one. He's justifiably happy.
He's with Jim Norton. He ought to be.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
No, that's a good one, too.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
That's very good.
Yeah. They were really great shots. He had his hat on.
I was going to say, he looks really cool.
He looked fucking really thin and, he looked great.
He looks great for his age. He's like 70-something, right?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I think he's in his early 70s.
But he's a fucking animal. He literally just does everything the director asks. He doesn't complain.
Right.
He's a fucking machine. But he kind of sits by himself in between takes,
He's probably keeping his head together.
Everybody wants to talk to him, but, people just kind of know to stay away.
Yeah. Speaking of hats, I noticed that our pal Vic Henley doesn't have his Auburn hat today. You creep me out every time you come in here without that rotting hat.
I know. I left it at my girlfriend's house, so I've been without it for 4 or 5 days. It's been really weird.
Yeah, this is your weird pedo on trial hairdo.
Yes, it's not good. It's not good.
I think there's conditioner in your hair.
I shampooed and conditioned both and shaved.
I'm used to just seeing you not shaved, not with a collared shirt on, with that greasy, rotting,
nasty. You can smell it a mile away.
Auburn hat that you've been wearing for
at least 10 years.
At least 10 years.
Smell?
Yeah, it stinks really bad.
Oh no!
I know.
Are you okay with the hat not being around?
Oh, I was getting a little weird about it. I almost called her and told her to send it to me.
She should FedEx it.
She said she would totally. So
Vic has a gal out of town
in Cleveland. So
you're not getting that hat back anytime soon.
So she said she would. She knows how weird it is, and said she would send it to me. I left my hat and my iPod. I'm musicless and hatless. I'm like a completely different person.
Why were you in a hurry to leave town?
No, I wasn't. I was being too lazy. It was Sunday afternoon, and I realized, oh shit, I got to go to the airport, and I jumped up and ran out and left everything. And so
your iPad and your Auburn hat,
my dirty Auburn hat. So
you can't wash it.
I have not. You could. Oh, absolutely. People have bought me a special thing that you can put it in the dishwasher to clean it up. It's like a little mold where it'll still hold its hat shape.
Oh wow! Okay.
People have gifted me more than one time a different way to wash the hat. And I'm like, fuck you. I'm not
wash it with this. It's a handgun.
Yeah. Well, that's the old redneck. You know the old hunting story. That's what you do when you trick the new guy when you go hunting down south. You go, hey, what we all do before we go hunting is we throw our hats up in the air and we shoot them or shoot at them and try to see who can hit somebody's hat. And what you do is you just let the hat come down and hit it on the ground. And you just walk over with your shotgun and just blow the fuck out of it. I just blow it till million. It's an old hillbilly trick. So
that's funny.
So somebody has taken shots at my hat.
Yeah, the Auburn hat is a bit greasy.
Someone posted on Twitter, a Red Sox fan posted on Twitter a picture of his. He's like, I want to go toe to toe, hat to hat. And he showed the inside band of his Red Sox hat. And it looked as dirty and nasty and smelly as my Auburn hat. I was very proud.
I like a good dirty hat, but it's the smell that gets to me.
J.K. Simmons, he smelled it. When he was here that day, he took it off and
it gets rank. If it didn't smell, I don't give a fuck.
I don't care.
Well, it has smelly hat brim. It's like a watch band.
Yeah.
That's the worst smell.
It's, or not.
I'm happy that I'm retiring my winter hat because the same thing.
The thing's going on.
I've only washed it probably a couple times the whole winter, and I wear it every day. And I got a whiff of that the other day. Wow,
it's March.
Oh.
Yeah, you're like that's when you go. Oh, it is March.
I staggered back.
Sure.
So then I took some body spray and I just sprayed the hat so I could wear it that day.
Axe body spray to smell like a gay hustler.
I put Febreze on my hat before.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You would wash it.
You would think I would have just left the hat home. I got other winter hats, but just like I was telling you before the show, you find that one hat.
I know. I understand.
You don't want to wear any of the other ones, but I put body spray on it just so it would smell okay, and I wore it that day.
Yeah, women have Febrezed mine behind my back, and they've washed it. I had an ex-wife bought me a new one, tried to switch it out on me one year.
Between the winter hat and the winter coat, I usually throw it away when spring comes because I'm so sick of wearing it. I can't imagine, washing it and leaving it for next year. A lot of times I just throw all my winter stuff away because I'm just done with it.
That makes sense.
Just done.
Well, you're living that highfalutin, fancy celebrity lifestyle. You can afford to just throw away clothing and get new stuff every year.
Well,
you got to go home and feed the swans.
As I'm wearing jeans that are at least 5 or 6 years old.
Okay, right.
So, I mean, I'm not. I'm not.
That's one thing.
Yeah, no. It's what? Everyone's whispering. What?
Bring Louie in.
What? Louie's here. Oh my God.
He'll always bring Louie in.
Let's say hi to Louie Anderson.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
What, Roland?
No, he's making the cutting sign.
There's
Louie.
Louie. I was going to sing the Louie song.
Good to see you. Nice.
Hey, Louie, good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you.
Louie Anderson.
How's everything?
What's going on, buddy?
How are you?
First time. I've never met you before.
No?
No.
I come over and shake your hand.
Let's go for the hug.
Yeah, no, he's one of the yes, you're meet one of the nicest guys and one of the funniest people in the world.
How are you?
Great. Louie Anderson. It's early, huh, Lou?
That's all right. You know, it's relative. Right?
It's
I went to
relative.
bed at 8 last night.
Oh, you did. You got a nice night's sleep. Jimmy did not.
Hey,
Jimmy
put
was
this
with.
down for one notch, will you?
Are you good at that?
That's
Going to
not
bed at a
big,
decent?
yeah.
Are you good at that? Going to bed at a decent hour when you have to?
I as you get older, that's it. As you get older, all right. Fuck. Can you into your arms?
Into your arms.
Ours is getting Louie.
Who's this for? Some giraffe? What the fuck is this?
I hate
Did my
him.
dad do this?
He's pointing. The microphone stands too long and it's
Oh,
right
I'm
in your
sorry.
face.
Is this on?
Yeah.
It's okay. That's perfect.
This is the good stuff.
Yeah, this is the only stuff.
This is the good stuff.
Am I right?
When you guys don't know you're on the air, that's when we get the good stuff.
Is it?
Sometimes.
You're right.
So you went to bed early last
not
night.
that
I
bad.
got, I was flying. Mm-hmm. And I got in and I went, oh, I'm going to lay down.
And then that was it.
No, I got up once and went, starving. I'm so hungry. Is this room service?
What'd you have?
Bad stuff. I had the blue cheese
Oh, nice.
burger
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
with smoked bacon. I said, hey, I don't want smoked bacon. Because after 60, you don't want anything smoked.
No.
Well,
all right.
some things, but you don't want, I can't eat, for some reason, like my whole life,
Yeah.
barbecue or smoked or mesquite.
Yeah. You
I
don't
must
like.
be part Cherokee because I can't eat it.
Oh.
Because the Cherokees can't. I don't know if they can.
What's it do to you?
I don't know.
I was going to say.
just made that shit up?
I was about to challenge.
My native friend's upset.
I would think it was more of a Minnesota thing,
Yeah.
or more of a,
Yeah, it's probably more Swedish. Isn't it?
would probably be
Yeah.
Why would I believe he's part Cherokee? It's fucking, looks like Ricky Schroeder.
He just made that up. I love it.
No, well, you know.
Absolutely love it. We're looking at a picture of you with Ronald Reagan. Wow.
Yeah.
And Nancy, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, from back in the day.
You know that? I was so, and you know, I'm a Democrat from Minnesota. Hubert Humphrey Democrat from the 1800s. And, you know, I went in there and I said, well, I'm going to take my mom to the White House.
Hell
That
yeah.
was the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Grew up in the projects. I said, I'm going to take my mom to the White House. So what? He's a Republican.
Shit,
Yeah, because that's how you feel.
Absolutely. No,
You know,
hell
when you're
yeah.
a Democrat, you think, should I go there?
Of course you should go to the White
Fuck
House.
yeah.
But you
Everywhere,
don't
yeah.
think that, though. You don't
Really?
know. Democrats. They're
If
dumb.
I had
We
a
have
chance to go to the White
You
House.
pause I'm totally with you. You do pause. You totally,
Yeah.
totally pause. Poor
What?
people.
When was the last time you were at the White House?
No,
What are
no.
you talking about?
Exactly.
Look at this Vic Henley trying to relate to Louie Anderson's White House
I've been
story.
in my-
But
I've been the
wait a
Carter
minute.
administration, the Clinton administration.
In defense, though,
Okay.
there was no social media, so there was no reason to get a picture. Like, I think people now live for a picture,
Yeah.
for a photo.
Well,
Like, honestly, like, I could be, like, people would, you know, they light up when they see you. Oh, my post for today.
Oh, yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That kind
yeah.
of stuff. Not with me necessarily, but whoever.
no, with you, Louie. Come
no,
on.
but you know what I mean. It's a weird thing.
You made it to that point.
Anyways, it was great to bring my mom to the White House.
Yeah.
And, you know, she loved it.
How'd they treat you? How were they when
Oh,
you
they
met
were
them?
great. They were great. Yeah. But you move along. It's like my meet and greet.
Keep the line going.
Let's go.
Keep it moving.
Don't, no hugging.
Yeah.
Use the hand sanitizer.
I got a
Step and repeat. Step and repeat.
I got a blue cheeseburger to
Yeah.
order. Move
And
it
you know-
along.
You know what they call it in the military? Grin and grip,
Grin and grip.
which is my
Yeah.
favorite thing.
Yeah.
Grin and grip.
Yeah, yeah.
Grin and grip.
I got a picture with Clinton It made my day. It made my year just to have a picture with the president.
I've got the first Bush, George 41.
And
so there's one
Jimmy, you got a
same
picture
thing.
with president, right?
I do. Donald Trump. He and I took the photo.
Sure.
That's
wonderful.
There's mine with Clinton.
Oh, that's so nice. Where were you guys? At Sandals?
It was at a weird.
I'll meet you in the jacuzzi. I've got 2 Southern girls I'm going to bring over.
And then the girls don't show up, and it's just him in the jacuzzi. Fair enough.
Put this on.
I had to be a douche in this picture and put my stupid sunglasses on. Why would you do that?
Did you put them on, or did you have them?
I put them on thinking I'd be.
Oh my God!
I'm embarrassed to say that I could have skated on this, but I just threw myself under the bus.
Why'd you put them on?
To
have a
cool.
look.
I'm an idiot.
You wanted to have a look, he said.
I get that, though. I mean, we all do those dumb things,
And you notice the bad crop job on the picture because I have an X in the photo. It drives me nuts. I can't.
Yeah, it was Hillary. Him and Bill were really uncomfortable next to each other.
And then the X knew someday I would try to crop
Is
her
that
out.
you, Jimmy, right on the side there?
Oh, no, I would have fucking muscled both of them out for that photo.
And then my ex is in there in such a way as I can't even crop her out because she leaned into the photo.
Yeah, well, that's Clinton holding her tight, too, though.
Yeah,
probably a little bit of. Probably
now, who is this?
Yeah. What's your name?
Howdy.
Louie, the best part of this story, it was about 12 years ago. A cop recognized me. I had no camera because it was before you had the camera on your phone.
Right.
And he goes, you want to meet Clint? He's coming out this side door, and they were holding everyone else back. And I go, I don't have a camera. So he opens up his trunk. He's one of those canine officers.
Yeah.
And he finds a disposable camera with dog hair on. He goes, I don't know, this might work. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And long story short, it did work. I lucked out.
I love the disposable
I lucked
camera.
out. That was great.
I had one. I had 3 in my glove compartment because I was a kid from Minnesota, and so when I moved to Hollywood, I had those cameras and that's why I have Robin and Eddie and all those people who I didn't know until later. But I have those pictures, and because I was a fan. I'm a fan of show business.
You're one of the funniest comedies ever, fucking Coming to America. I mean, that's such a great, funny film. You were in the Sam Jackson scene.
Yeah, I am. And who knew? And nobody knew who Sam was at the time. He was out on parole, and no, I'm just kidding.
Once again, we all pause.
Yes.
How sad are we that we're like, yeah, of course you'd be out.
We're very trusting boys. You could molest all of us, Louie.
I would love to.
He's getting us every time. Every time he's gotten us every single time.
But we're bad. We just assume, yeah, of course Sam Jackson would be out on parole.
No, well, he always starts out those interviews in those in-depth things, that he had problems, and he was lucky to be where he's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't he? He had some bad addiction problems or whatever. He was with the Black Panthers, I think, when he was younger. He was really interesting.
Yeah, he was, and in that scene, John Landis. I came out to Hollywood or New York and had dinner with him before the show because he was that kind of director who wanted to meet everybody who he didn't, I guess, hire for it, and then when he shot it, I wasn't there when he said "fat boy."
Oh wow!
So that was really like when I saw the screening, and Sam Jackson says "fat ass" or "fat boy."
Right.
Do you remember what it was? "Fat boy."
I want to say "fat."
I think it is Fat Boy.
I haven't seen the movie
it is Fat Boy,
in a bunch of years, but I think it's "Fat Boy."
Yeah.
Wow, so were you surprised at the screening?
Yeah, because I was at that point, and still am to some degree a Minnesotan, where I'm just dumb. Right. I don't mean it, but a Midwesterner. I'm gullible.
I'm Alabama. I'm right preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
I'm gullible. I'm gullible in those situations. But I thought, is this the cough button I missed?
We like coughing right into the mic.
Yeah.
Keep it real.
Then it's really real, isn't it?
I don't care. We don't care.
No one does.
We're not
care.
professional broadcasters.
Yeah, thank God.
So what
I'll be right back.
I truly mean that.
Right. If you can guess 8 numbers, you're going to win $1 billion.
More with Louie Anderson. After these
We're
messages.
raffling off a seat with a fist on it. Call it out.
Jimmy.
That's what the fister is.
What were you saying about?
So, I was saying that, I didn't know that. I didn't know that there would be another shot of him from that angle, that they would use different words. And that was how nice that Landis was, that he didn't want to hurt my feelings.
Oh, cool.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
And Eddie was really nice during that whole thing.
Yeah.
It was great. That's why I really learned about fame.
Oh, really? Through Eddie Murphy?
We're on Queens Boulevard, where the McDowell's was, right? And there were 5,000 people. Wow. Outside this fence. Somebody had fenced it then, said, we better fence this. So we're in there. Eddie's got a bus. And every time the bus door opened, where his dressing room was, the fence would bow in from people pushing forward. And I would go, oh my God, he's famous. He's the most famous person I've been around.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's real fame right there.
Yeah, that's super fame.
Jimmy talks highly of you over the years.
I know, he's very sweet to me.
Well, Louie
I did
changed
him
my
a
life.
favor, right? I did a solid.
No, you were the Santa Monica Pier, Louie Anderson show. Was my first real TV. I had to Friday night videos, but this was like much more legit show. And I was doing a 7-minute warm up for the Louie show the next night, and that was where I met Dice at the Comedy Store.
Wow.
And then Dice takes me on tour with him, and then he gets me on the radio show in 2000. But that was all because of you.
I think you said, can I meet Dice, didn't you?
Well, Patty Rossborough, the next night we were bragging, we met Dice, me and Jim Florentine. And Patty was your warm-up comic, and she knew Andrew well.
Patty, nice.
Yeah,
Patty's fabulous, yeah.
Yeah, she is. I haven't seen her in years.
I just saw her at the comic strip like a month ago or so, yeah. She's out
Am
there.
I saying her name wrong?
No, Patty Rossborough.
Wait, from Boston?
I just know
Patty
people's
Ross.
first names mostly.
Patty Ross.
There's Patty Ross, and there's Patty Rossborough.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, I
no,
mixed them
Patty,
up.
both Patty Ross is hilarious too.
I
Very,
know,
very
but
funny.
I just threw different letters on her name. I'm an asshole, and I spoiled the story. But anyway, I love Louie Anderson.
Oh, thanks.
He gave
And
you a
you did a
huge
great
break.
thing on there, right?
I think so.
Aren't you always? Isn't it timing again with all comedy? You're in the right place.
Yeah.
'Cause, not everybody would have fit with Dice. You fit with him, so that's a hard fit. I don't think very many people fit in that category.
Yeah, I mean, you know him well. He's a very particular type of a gentleman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
You think?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
I had. Oh my God. We saw Louie in Vegas a couple times. We were walking through the casino, and they would just stop and chat. He loved you, man.
Yeah, I love Dice. I saw Dice when he was doing the Grease Lightning. That was his ending to his show.
Yeah.
He would do Travolta.
Oh, yeah, he loves his Travolta.
And do Grease Lightning,
Yeah.
and we would go, what is he doing?
Right.
Dice, what are you doing? And then, of course, he's doing stadiums next, and I go, and you know me, I want to know how much money people make. I don't know why, because I'm a Midwesterner, we're nosy. And I happened to ask somebody, and they said, I think he made $24 million on that tour, Louie. What? Wow. And I just did that. What?
Do you ask people what they make?
Yeah. I don't ask them. I ask people who know them.
To this day, though?
Yeah, always.
To this day, always.
Here's what I asked recently. I know somebody who knows Larry the Cable Guy, right? Who's Dan.
Whitney.
Yeah, Dan Whitney. And I love all people who are successful. I'm just happy for them. I'm not that person who goes, damn it, why can't I be that guy? And I said, what do you think he makes per year? What do you think? Do you think at his best year ever, what do you think he makes?
I'm going to guess his best year.
Best year ever.
Maybe he
That's
pulled
different.
in.
Yeah, you got to count.
Oh, well, what do you mean?
He was
What do
in
you
Cars.
No, I'm one.
That's that Pixar money. Cars 2.
I'm thinking of touring mostly.
Let's
okay.
go with
Arena
touring.
touring. I'm going to
Okay.
guess 10 million. That would be my guess.
Nah, I'd go 30 or 40.
Yeah.
I'm going 20. I'm going to split the difference. Oh,
Anybody
man, he's
else?
still looking around for guests.
Nah, it's
Yeah.
That
probably
means
50.
we're
Probably
off.
50.
That means we're off if he's looking around for more.
Well, it could be less.
people to
What would
guess.
be the most you would think?
100.
Jeez.
Can't be that much.
No,
Can't
it's
be
not
that. Can't be $100 million.
Maybe 50.
72.
72 million.
$72 million.
That's what somebody told me. Now, Dan, I'm just saying
I love Dan.
this can't hurt you. Somebody told me 72 million.
Oh my God.
And so I just said,
Well, he's got his own
I
potato chip
called
line.
my manager immediately and go, why am I not making $12 million touring?
72
You know what I mean?
million.
You just figure out.
1/6.
Just think, well, no, just the idea. Like, I can't do 72.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't do 22. But what about 12? I wouldn't do 12 either, but I wanted to just act like
That's
I
funny.
could.
Vic, you know him a little bit.
I know him. I was at his house in December. You know,
Does he have a $72 million house?
well,
trailer?
in Nebraska, you can own 3/4 of the
that's
state
true.
for $72 million.
But he's the
Absolutely.
nicest
He's
guy.
the
That's
sweetest
what
guy
they
in the
always
world.
followed up with.
He's a lovely guy. Hasn't changed a bit. He
You
still
know what
likes the jokes. He
Yeah.
still likes to write
But
jokes and do
think
jokes.
about
He's almost
that, though. They always had that at the end of 72 million. But he's so nice. But he's so nice. I don't care what he is after. But he is really nice.
That's why he's doing these fucking Prilosec commercials. He probably has acid reflux just thinking about losing his money.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out who has ever made more.
touring, comic touring.
Russell Peters, no, not
Yeah,
even more
maybe,
than that.
maybe. I
Not
don't know,
72.
yeah.
Not 72. Kevin
Yeah.
Hart, not more than
and
72.
you know, Dan, call us up if we're off, and just give us a number because we would love it.
Maybe
He's
that's
not
the
gonna-
rumor he started.
If that's way higher, he's not going to tell you that.
I'll go say. I'll go.
He wants people
I'll
to think
text him
that.
on the break. I'll text him on the break.
see what he
if I can
says?
get an answer. I'll
See, just say, hey, we were just
I'll
kicking
tell him-
around.
text him
that
right
you're the
now.
most-
I don't have my phone in here with me, but if
You're
it's
the
Louie,
most,
if
Was
it's
that in
Louie, he'll
Cleveland,
answer.
too?
He will answer if he knows
Just say
it's
Louie
Louie.
Anderson was
Yeah.
speculating
Yes.
across 2 continents
On how much money you're
what you
making.
made, 72 million.
For all those listening down the hall, try to get him on the phone.
You know.
Try to get Larry on the phone.
But
And we
he's
love,
probably
and,
asleep.
and they all comes from a loving place.
Oh, no,
Yeah, he's very nice.
I'm sure he's in the back.
He comes in
20,
here
40,
from
60,
time to time. He's
80.
all right.
No, I love Whitney.
Hey,
So who would be second? Well, we won't go into this,
Well,
but
hold
you
on
know,
a second.
just second. Just who's going to be second?
I would love to. I don't know what.
I mean, Dice with the 24 has got to be in there.
maybe. No, Kevin Hart made, I think, 27 million last
Oh,
year.
he did? Okay.
Yeah, these guys make a lot of money
about,
now. They're
good-
all doing arenas. Yeah.
Jeff Dunham makes a lot of money with
Jeff
the puppet.
Dunham.
there
He makes
it
a
is.
shitload of money with the puppet.
I think it,
Yeah.
yeah, but does he split it with them?
The jalapeno on the stick, no.
Yeah.
But Walter,
Ahmed,
whatever.
Ahmed,
Yeah,
you know.
Ahmed, yes.
and he sells those puppets after
I
the
don't
show.
even know.
He's got puppet money.
I don't
Louie.
even know.
He's got puppet
He's
money.
got puppet money.
Yeah, he may. You got to do
I know he
arenas.
sold almost $1 million worth of
puppets.
$1 million. I mean, not $1 million. He sold almost 1 million tickets.
It's something
last
crazy.
year. 900 some thousand.
Last year?
I thought it was last year.
Wow, Louie's really Googling.
No, you can't. No, I'm telling you. The one thing that interests me is how alive and well comedy is, and and to see that people can, do that kind of number.
Yeah, it's having a good run right now.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a toy or anything like that? You had a cartoon show.
I had cartoon, but the toys were all the action figure in my case was at McDonald's.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? I was the fat kid on a little bike, and it wasn't going to sell. You know what I mean? It wasn't going to sell. I mean, hey, Mom, give me the fat kid on a bike, as opposed to give me the monster that destroys the world.
Ah, wow.
I'm very fortunate. I have a great life, and I'm still working, and I'm having a ball.
Speaking of still working, this Baskets show is amazing.
Yeah?
I love it.
Thank you.
It's on FX. I'm a little behind.
Me too.
You're in the coma right now.
I am.
You're in the coma. So
I haven't gotten that far.
Oh, sorry, Jim. Yeah, but come on.
I don't know. I'm out. I haven't seen it yet. I'm clear.
Was that bad to say?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
That was kind of
I
bad
know,
to say.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
he's obviously alive
I
because
like
he's right
honesty.
here.
No, I'm going to see it.
Was that bad to say? That's
I'll
a couple
see it.
weeks ago.
No.
Because I think the season finale is
That's
coming
all right.
out Thursday.
Yeah, it ends.
Yeah.
That's what I'll get caught up.
We only have 2 episodes left.
You're so good in this.
It's a
That's
funny
what I've been
thing.
hearing. It's amazing.
When I see that picture right there that you put up, that's not me in my head. I don't think like, hey, that's me. Because when I go in there, something happens. I get in there and I put the clothes on so I don't screw up the wig. I put the clothes on first.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is a weird process. You're putting these women's clothes on. And I would tell you if I ever liked women's clothes, wouldn't be ashamed of that.
Yeah.
But I never went in my mom's thing and went, ooh, look at this.
Right.
You know what I mean? And put it on. I was just trying to get smaller clothes to get on. If I could just get a pair of jeans on.
Well, how far are you committing with putting on the clothes? You got some panties on underneath there just to...
I think I'm a commando under there.
Commando. All right. Louie.
Dingleberry.
That's a great picture.
2 green grapes.
That's just so good. It looks like Caroline Ray gained 1,000 pounds.
1,000?
I'm joking. Come on.
No, it's okay. I like that you said it.
You put on 25, but
yeah.
Louie,
so I just put that on and then put the wig on and I made everyone call me Christine.
Right. I got to say, when we first heard, I heard Louie is, playing a mother or whatever in Baskets. That was the reason I started watching the show. I'm like, wait, I got to see this. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And then I saw it. I'm like, wow, is he killing it? You're killing it.
I had not heard it. I literally just saw it, and then there you were in the kitchen. I'm like, oh, this, and not talking like I'm just being you. It was so great.
It was really a big choice, Jonathan Kreisel and Zach and Jonathan, who, Portlandia.
Yeah.
And Saturday Night Live, but we never even really discussed the voice. Nobody had any intention of changing the voice.
Yeah, you didn't really change it at all.
Maybe
subtly, maybe?
A tiny bit. You know what it is?
Yeah.
It's just that little tiny thing that I stole from my mom.
Okay.
So my mom was a really great person and really sweet and looks a lot, I look a lot like her.
Yeah.
And so she would always add to everything and embellish everything because we were poor. So she had to make something good out of being poor.
Right.
When you're poor, you have to make something good out of being. Here's some radishes, Louie, and look at this little thing called a salt dip that you dunk the radishes in. Oh, well, we've got salt dip. And so that's what I brought to the character. Just like the scene with the Desante, I was looking at it and thinking of my mom and going, oh, so robust.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was looking for something my mom would enhance the word, the water.
Yeah.
I mean, she was that kind of person who tried to bring us more. She was a really great person.
It looks like you guys do a lot of improv in this show. Is it true?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
We keep the script in mind because the writers are off weeping on the side. Jesus, is there any chance you could get some of it? Because everybody's written stuff and then they don't, I didn't ever understand writers until I did a sitcom and they were there. And when you said their line during the read-through, they would chortle in a big laugh.
Yeah.
And I didn't get it at first. I go, come on, we get it. You wrote it, because comics are not. No, they would never laugh at their own.
Well, there's a lot of funny people in this, so obviously you got to let them improv a little
but they
bit.
have to laugh at the read-through, otherwise the network is going to say change it. So
Yeah.
If it's killing.
When you do a Louis C.K. thing, the network's not there for the read-through.
Oh no, but I did something for HBO with him, and they were there. But if it bombed, he would just fix it. But
he would. But
Louis,
isn't it true that Louis has this great and Zach and those guys? We did this. It was almost like a covert operation when we did the pilot.
Really?
Yeah. It was like we flew in under the cover of night. We shot this pilot a year before, I think it was.
Wow.
Did you really?
Yeah. And then, he shot it for almost no money because I got nothing. So I don't know what
He told me they have no money.
Almost
72
zero.
million.
Yeah. I've got 72 million. So, I shouldn't I shouldn't have said that. I'm just kidding, Louis.
Oh, he knows.
Yeah.
It's all good.
You think he's listening? I know.
Yeah, every morning.
No, he comes
Does he?
in.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great. I've never met him, but I'm kidding.
It's uneventful.
Yeah. No, he's great. How about how much he does?
Well, he's got to be on.
Creatively.
Well, he's got to be on the comedy list of comedian list of making a lot of money
forgot,
too.
Louis. Yeah, Jesus.
And
Yeah.
Seinfeld's got to be on that list.
Yeah,
now that,
well,
now that I had a minute or
Now
two
wait
to
a
think
minute,
about it.
Seinfeld. That's different. Though. That's
Certainly.
TV money. That's not. Larry doesn't have a TV deal like that.
Right.
Larry doesn't have syndication money.
Seinfeld-
This is money that people driving up in American cars are paying to get in to see him.
Yeah. Well, Seinfeld's now doing that Beacon run.
He's there for like a month or
He's
something.
camping out at the Beacon.
Oh, good. I'm happy for him.
Camping out at the Beacon Theater, doing a couple shows a month, right? Something
residency.
Like that. A little local residency. Back to Baskets, the scene in Costco is probably my favorite scene of the whole series.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I can relate to that. I got relatives down there in Philly, and they can't wait to bring me to Sam's Club and show me everything that's going on. And in Baskets, you're wandering around Costco just so happy with everything that you could get in there.
It's just one of the, one of the other things, we had a store called the Gem store, GEM, something membership, I think.
Yeah.
And it was a big store, and it was a very similar thing in St. Paul, in Highway 61. You always remember weird stuff, don't you? Mm-hmm. Anyways, we'd go there, and my mom would go, "Look at that." She'd whisper we're look at that. That's a case of Miracle Whip. You can just get a case. Louie.
Right. Yeah.
And that was the...
and you guys worked that into Baskets, and
they you know what Jonathan didn't want.
I felt like you improv that whole scene, but
I think I improv the walking and looking and grabbing the sweatshirt.
Yeah, which they're wearing.
Yeah, which
today
is my I think this was. I don't think they sell this sweatshirt. But they gave it to us as a wrap, the production team, in a wire basket. I thought it was really... Yeah. At first, I'm so dumb I don't get it. I go, why is it in this basket? I go, why are they putting my shirt in a basket? And they go, the show's baskets. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, someone has a question about the first episode of Baskets. This is a pretty good question. Let's say hi to Josh in Detroit. We got Louie Anderson in studio. Go ahead, Josh.
Hey, Louie. One of the funniest scenes I've ever seen in the first episode was when you took that long drink of that water bottle, and it looked like you almost choked on it, and you spit it out, and I think you said something like, "Boy, that hit the spot." And I was just wondering if that was, if you expected that to get in, or that was an outtake, or was that a one-shot thing, or how did that work?
I rewound that scene and watched it.
I'm still choking from it. Who rewound?
I did.
Jim.
It was so funny.
So I was trying to down that thing.
A whole bottle.
I'm over 60. And I couldn't. And so I said, "Oh, this is coming out." In my head. And I spit it out, and then I just said, "Ooh. That was refreshing." I was trying to save the scene. And if you really look, Zach is laughing in the big drink he's drinking.
Yeah.
If you really look there, you'll see him. I think. My goal every time he was across from me or Martha, I tried to make him laugh.
Right.
That was my whole goal through the whole show.
Is he playing? He plays more than one character?
He's playing him and his twin brother.
Yeah. And where's
and
it set?
he plays it so well that you'll almost start thinking there's another actor there. And
doesn't he, though?
Absolutely. And then there's scenes where they're in it together.
Right.
And they have finally figured that out to have, twins in the same scene played by the same person, making it look pretty damn real now.
Is it Southern? Is it because I saw a trailer? Oh, it's California. Okay. So white trash California.
Yeah.
It's the
same
south
thing.
Of California. Yeah, same thing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no accent.
But
here it goes.
And you can see Zach. We're going back to the... Hold on. Let me put this up.
Watch that. Watch Zach.
Oh, yeah. The corner. Just the corner. I thought I saw the corner of his mouth. A little grin. Just a little grin.
He's happy.
And Martha's dying right there, but can't.
Let me see that one more. That's so awesome.
Play it all the way to the end.
I hit the spot.
Louie.
That's great. Me laugh very hard.
That is great. Zach is amazing in this.
Isn't he great? And he's so humble.
Really?
Have you ever met him?
No, we've never had him on.
God,
Jimmy knows him, but
we got to get him humble, on. Right?
Yeah, he's
he
very
said, like, I just go, he's so nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he meets everybody, he talks to everybody. And, I'm appreciative of that. Yeah. I just think this is a big star that is just hobnobbing.
Yeah, just treats people well.
Yeah, treats people well.
And we're going to have Martha in a few minutes from Baskets.
Today?
Yeah, she's going to be in a few minutes.
She got in today?
I thought you guys knew.
I did.
Oh, I
thought Louie knew.
No, I heard she was. I thought.
Yeah, I hope you stick around.
She told me another day.
No, I believe she's going to be here in a few minutes.
I can't wait.
Wonderful in Baskets.
I live for Martha.
So
She's working for me this weekend.
Is she a good comic?
We're not working for me, but I mean, Caroline's
right.
paying her. I hope I don't have to pay her. Doesn't No, I'm just kidding.
You're working, by the way, Caroline's, let's just plug this too. It's
Tomorrow
like the
through
30th
Saturday.
anniversary of your first time working there.
Are you
I'm
coming
guessing,
down? Are you going to come down?
I fly to Portland tomorrow. I would love to come see you.
Oh, are you going to Portland?
Yeah, but I would rather come see you.
Yeah, right. No, but I was hoping you'd do a set.
I absolutely. Oh, did they? Are they? Oh, you know what? They asked me to do a set because they're screening something, right? Or
We're
whatever.
screening Baskets finale.
Nice.
So
When are you
that's a good
screening
night.
stick around and watch it with Martha and I.
What night are you screening it?
Thursday.
Oh, it is
the finale,
Thursday. Yeah, 'cause I will be out of town. They asked me about that, and I would love to.
That would have been fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and you probably first did Caroline's at the Seaport, right? When it was back.
I did. I think it was like 1901. When was that? Because I was trying to. Is it 20?
They
30
moved
years ago.
They moved Midtown about 93, I think. So it would have been.
Yeah.
It would have been in the late 80s when they were down.
Late
at the
80s,
Seaport.
early 90s, maybe?
Yeah, 89.
Well, that's a great night. Louie Anderson at Caroline's, and then you get to see the season finale of Baskets this Thursday.
And Martha, very funny lady.
Who, by the way, I just was told is not coming in today.
It's tomorrow, isn't it?
Roland got his info wrong.
It's tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
Louis
Roland
knows.
got his info
Louis
wrong.
knew. Louis knew. I love my
Oh, next Wednesday she's in. She's not even in
How
tomorrow.
are you off by a week?
Keep changing it.
How is-
It's November. It's not.
Remember, Louis, remember I said we're not professional broadcasters? Do you believe me
We're
now?
off by a week.
A week.
What other job is it acceptable to be off by a week?
You know, only in comedy, isn't it? Like, I've done that. I go, am I there this week?
Yeah.
You're there today. I'm there today.
I'm there today.
When do I leave? You should have left already.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, you're going to have to tell him I'm going to have to start tomorrow.
I was reading up on Martha, and Zach pretty much picked her out of almost obscurity for Baskets, right?
You know, Zach picked everybody in the show, I think.
Yeah,
you
but
know what?
no one really knew Martha before the show.
Yeah, I think he just knew her as a comedian.
I knew her, yeah, that's how I knew her. I knew her from
And then,
and
you
said
know,
she would be perfect for this.
and his French wife, she's an Italian singer from the Brazilian Girls.
Oh, no kidding.
They had a hit called Pussy, 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 Marijuana during the Bush. I know. Who doesn't want to say that?
I was gonna say.
At the
Wow,
supper.
okay.
Who doesn't want to say that during supper with your dad? What?
Pussy, pussy,
It's that song.
It's only two pussies, not three pussies.
Well, I threw another pussy.
Pussy,
in.
pussy,
Let me see.
marijuana.
Let's see if
Is it
it pops
pussy,
up.
you-
Oh, I don't know.
it?
I just wanted to say it twice,
Yeah.
but I think 3 is a little nicer.
I do too.
Pussy,
I
pussy,
think
pussy, marijuana.
Yeah.
Their flow's better.
We're looking for it.
It's
I
more
got
lyrical.
Pussy, marijuana. Maybe this
She
is
can
it.
really sing, by the way.
Is it Zach's real wife, or you talk about his wife on the show?
His wife on the show.
Okay.
His
Stupid
wife on the
question that
show.
was.
Yeah.
His wife in real life is very nice too, and she is from Canada.
I don't think I know her.
That's mandatory. The Canadians have to be nice. Isn't that part of their?
I
That's
think
part
it
of their
is. You know,
core.
like I've had people in Canada say, "Why don't you follow me?" And I'll just put my arm out when you're supposed to turn. And it's always into a cornfield. I go, I'm not turning. Where do I turn? I'm from Minnesota. I need a street. Can I get a street? Don't you hate when you follow somebody
Oh, it's
and
the
they're
worst.
wrong?
Yeah.
And you are just a fool, and you just go.
You feel
"Oh,
helpless.
so you are
As they're making their
helpless, yeah.
U-turn in a field.
It's the Polish train.
Yeah, you hate them because they're a piece of shit who gave you the wrong directions, but you're
Exactly.
grateful because they were generous enough to say,
Yeah,
I'll show
it's
you.
it's that passive aggressive thing. I hate you, but thank you
For trying.
Thank you for trying.
Thank you
The
for
song
wasting
is
my time.
Brazilian Girls. The song is called Pussy. Can we hear like a couple seconds of this?
That's all right.
You're down to one.
Maybe you threw in the extra 2 pussies and marijuana. You're a good egg, Louie.
You are a good egg. Taking care of everybody.
It is 3 pussies.
Yes, it is. Sitting here at the table. Sounds like Nina. Remember that 99 Love Balloon?
Yeah.
Nice call, Jimmy. Yes, I agree.
I was thinking Bow Wow Wow.
A little Annabella Lewin.
A little bit.
And the video is her blacked out with her eyes and across
all
her
right.
breast.
Okay.
And across her.
You can say
her
it.
pussy.
Satellite
I
radio.
know I can say
Oh, you're
it.
just keeping it nice and clean
Trying to
today,
have some
Louie?
fun. Jesus. Is that how it is every day, where you have to control every breath out of the people you're with? I suppose that's part of it after a while. Hey, can somebody talk to Jimmy about not just in every laugh that's here.
Yeah, say cunt. Go ahead.
I just want to hear Louie Anderson say cunt. There she is. Wow, look at that.
Oh, she was actually nude on the stage. Oh, no, she
A
wasn't.
bodysuit.
God.
But she's got her
What a
naughty.
lovely-
Very good, though, how they did that. Am I right?
That's
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah, that's beautiful,
It
man.
leaves a little to the
Yeah,
imagination.
I think people should. That's how
That's
we
cool.
should all be.
Yeah, just a little
Yes,
bit, little black
because
bar
you know
covering.
what you're going to get. Then you're going. You know how big. You know everything. But she's terrific, and she was lovely, and she never acted before, and she did a fantastic job in there. She just did it all.
She was great. Everyone's great in this basket.
I'm amazed by people who just never acted before and they show up and they do it right. It's
And I think it has a lot to do with the set, the generosity, and all the people on the crew were Portlandia. It's their crew. I think a lot of the people worked on that. And Jonathan's so generous. You never felt pressured one time by Jonathan.
And what
Never.
about Ernest Adams?
Oh,
Who's he? He's great in this.
He's an actor, but he is so fantastic.
I feel like
in
I've
it.
seen him in things over the years,
think
but
you might
I
have.
couldn't pinpoint.
the older guy, right?
A particular role, but he is.
He plays Ernie, doesn't he? Does he play Ernie? No.
He plays the guy that owns a circus? Or
Yeah, he's
Ernie.
he's the owner of
I feel
the
bad.
rodeo, actually.
Yeah.
Rodeo,
Can't
sorry,
think
yes.
of his
Ernest
name.
Adams. Yeah, Eddie.
Eddie.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've seen that guy.
Yes, no, but I wouldn't. I just
Thank
looked.
you.
I cheated.
Oh, you did.
Yes,
Thank
I
you.
did.
But he's great in this.
He really is.
And, those guys they did those things at the rodeo, and it was hot as could be, and they did it out at the ranch. I was in none of those things, but those days were killers for people, and he's not a young guy, so.
Right on. We got a guy, when he was a kid, he used to do Louie bits and got in tons of trouble.
For what
Oh,
bit?
no.
Yeah, Louie's
Wow.
always been a relatively...
I don't know.
Let's hear it.
Alan in Georgia, go ahead.
Hey guys, I'm Louis. I guess it was one of his HBO specials. I'm guessing maybe 30 years ago-ish, something like that. Used to do a bit, and I won't do it because I won't do it justice.
No, we don't know what was the bit, though.
Yeah, go ahead,
You got to do
sir.
it because we have to know which bit.
From beginning to end, do it.
Can you do the bit, though, for us, please?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
life is really about just getting you're on Sirius.
I know.
So
Your big
don't
break.
listen. This could be something. I'm looking for somebody to do a tribute.
Gallagher too.
Yeah.
You're going to go that route.
Louis 1.5.
I think you were imitating your dad, and you used to say, "God damn it," but you would use it in his voice, and it would be "God damn it."
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And I was probably 10 years old and would walk around saying that and would get in trouble. But that, to this day, still gets referenced between my family and I. That and the couple in Minnesota that had all the kids and no good.
The
they had another one.
Johnsons. Yeah.
Yeah, which is ironically my last name.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's a very uncommon one.
Yeah. The Johnsons are home.
Finally found
But
another family named Johnson.
God damn it.
There it is.
Yeah.
Well, of course there
When
is.
you're 10 and you say that, though, and you're in a Catholic school, I would imagine. What school were you in?
I was not at Catholic school, but I was Catholic, and we used to have a dryer that would buzz really loud, and I would walk around going, "Turn that goddamn thing off."
See, you're in his life, Louis. You're in this man's life.
That's so good.
That's cool.
That makes me happy. Thank you so much.
Are you
Lasting
watching?
effect.
Are you watching baskets, Alan?
I am. It's awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
Really love
But
it.
We're working
one of
on
those-
season 2 right now.
It's one of those shows, like Jim said, you're kind of checking it out, and you're like, what's this all about? And you find yourself laughing really hard and out loud, and you're like, wow, this is really well done.
That fucking spit take in that first episode just
great.
made me laugh so hard.
I think because it was so real, everything's so organic on that show, don't you think?
It looked like it had been swallowed and coughed back up violently. Like it was just great.
It was swallowed and coughed. You've done that, haven't you?
Oh, but yes, some embarrassing situations.
All right, Alan. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, boys.
All right, we're going to go to Michael in Maryland. We got Louie Anderson in the studio. Michael, what's going on?
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello, Louie. Hello.
Hi.
Jim
Hi, Michael.
and Vic and Opie. But I originally called because I wanted to know how Louie came up with the character that he plays, in Baskets, but he kind of already answered that. So
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to to say, this is going to seem really weird, but thank you in a weird way for doing this character. This is going to sound really strange, but you remind me of my mom in that show, like from your mannerisms to everything, and she's dead, so whenever I watch you on that show, I feel this odd sense of like comfort watching it.
That's
and
good.
That's nice.
I can't explain it, but
No, you just did explain it. It was fine. And you know, I think that's, you know, I'm doing my mom there too. So maybe they're together wherever they are, talking about what an ass my dad was. and that's why he's not up here. But thank you. That could have been really rough, but that turned out to be a really good thing.
Yeah.
Always end with a laugh, right?
Always,
Yes.
yeah. And then just hang up on this blubbering mess. I'm kidding. Your book of your dad.
Thank you, Michael.
Was amazing. Dear Dad, Letters from an Adult Child.
On Kindle, finally.
Oh, I gotta check it out.
Yeah,
Is it on
on
Audible?
Kindle.
I'm an Audible guy. I'm gonna.
Is it? It should. I
looking it up right
recorded
now.
it. I recorded that on tape, and that was the hardest thing I ever did. I blubbered halfway through that. I just left it, and I said, "Leave it." I said, "Leave this stuff in here."
Right.
They go, "Can we clean it up a little?" And I go, "No, I think it's okay." And then we really went back and forth on it a lot. But, you know, when I went to my dad's grave, there's a scene where I go to my dad's grave in that. That was in the dead of winter. I had my boots on. I'm reading these letters to my father. And it was so cathartic and so good for me. And I think subsequently, you know, people have a really hard time forgiving that stuff, but until you do forgive all those people who you feel have done you wrong, that resentment resides in you, and that's a killer, man. You're not gonna, you won't beat the resentment. That'll crush you.
That'll always get to you.
Yeah,
We'll get you in the end.
Yeah, it's just a thick, heavy, awful.
Right.
You know, something comfortable about it sometimes that it's hard to get rid of.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
really
something,
hard.
you know, there's a part of every, I think, comic that loves, you know, to lay in at least an inch of resentment, doesn't it?
Yes.
Misery,
Those
resentment.
Fuckers.
Yeah. God
You know
damn
that.
it.
God damn it.
Wait till they see what they
You know,
missed.
So you guys want to make sure you always have your toes in it.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little resentment around, right?
A little resentment. It feels healthy.
Somebody told me the greatest thing once about laying in, you know, I said, sometimes I feel like I'm laying in a swamp of really rancid water. You know, I feel really depressed. And the therapist was really good. And she said, you know, it's only about 6 inches deep. You could get up anytime you want. That's God damn it. Do I need to hear that? Do I want to get up? You know, I was really comfortable laying in this. What's wrong with you? And then from then on, I haven't been as full of self-pity as I used to be.
Right.
Because, you know, once it's illuminated, and you realize that you're the participant in it. Oh, there's something really like, well,
Freeing about that.
yeah, you got to just stop it. You know, don't you?
Right.
It's really pathetic.
I'm with you.
You got to try.
It's like blaming the crowd,
Right.
that your show's no good.
Yeah. Somebody once said, I heard a comedian say that one time, never blame the crowd, even though it's always their fault. I don't know.
That's
wonderful.
I heard that years ago.
That's such a great line.
That's the best.
Yeah, but I wish I could take credit for it. Whoever said that was brilliant.
So good.
Well,
And your brother passed away. Was
Yeah.
in his sleep? Was it the first thing I thought when I read that was his sleep apnea?
you know, Tommy, it was rough. Monday, the 22nd of February, I went, after my sister died. I've lost several siblings. And after my sister died, I said, I'm never going to go home without having lunch. They were seeing, you know, my brothers and sisters. So Sunday I did a show, a corporate show. Monday, we had lunch at Applebee's because the place we used to go closed down, which I thought was ironic. And so Tommy and I went, my baby brother, and, you know, I picked him up. We went over there. We ate lunch. He didn't look great, but he often didn't look great because he didn't take care of himself like none of us do in our family. But, you know, I hugged him and kissed him. He hugged me, kissed me, said he loved me. And I flew to New York. I had a gig in New York. I mean, not New York. I'm in New York now. In Florida. And had dinner with some friends and watched a movie. And I got out of the movie, and there were messages from all my brothers and sisters except Tommy. Ugh. Like those messages where you go, shit.
Right.
Why are these people calling me in succession?
Yeah.
You know something.
Something's wrong.
I called my sister Lisa, and she goes, Tommy's dead. And I cried for like till now. You know, you're always just, you know, a second from breaking down.
Yeah.
You know, about it, but thank God for Monday. Right?
Yeah, you had your last. Yeah, sure.
Always.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful.
You were happy to have that one
I was
last
really happy
moment with your brother.
And then I found out later he was taking his nitroglycerin. He had arrhythmia, and he was told his neighbor he should go to the doctor, but he was taking a lot of nitroglycerin pills, which I looked for desperately. No.
Just to stock up.
He gave me a bottle once, and I carry it with me. It's the funniest little thing. It's a tiny little bottle. I don't do any of those drugs, but I said a constant reminder of my brother. And I have his shoes on. I took his, I gave him these boots for Christmas.
They're nice.
That's totally cool.
I said, I'm going to take these.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a last minute. It's weird, like, whenever you never know when you're going to see someone for the last time, so it always sucks if it's a weird moment or a bad.
Yeah, and it was good. You know, I was going to say, I'm his older brother, so I was going to say, Tommy, you're not taking care of yourself. You're not doing enough for yourself. You got to quit smoking. You got to quit doing this stuff. And I said none of it. I said, I'm not going to say that stuff to my brother anymore. He knows.
Right.
I'm not going to try. I'm not his parent. I'm his brother. And it was unconditional.
How much older are you?
I'm just 2 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, but you can't, when someone's smoking, it's like there's nothing to say that's going to make them.
11 years now. I quit when my last brother was dying.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I used to smoke, but not for, I smoked a hard 20 years of smoking, where I just smoked all the time, because I'm a compulsive person. But
yeah.
I was with my brother, and he was smoking, and he was on oxygen, and I said, luckily I did a lot of therapy in my life. So I had some clarity, and I said, well, it's just me in 10 years. That's just me changing, places with them. But you can't stop. And I have another brother and a sister who smoke, and I don't even talk to them about it because, well, I did. I did talk to him the other day when I saw him. I go, Jim, I was just with my sister and him, and I said, Jim, what are you doing? What can I do? What can I do to convince you to quit smoking? Is there money? Is it a money thing? I can't give you the $72 million, but is there a money thing? Is there a gift? Is there something? Is it worth it for you to stay around and be with us? Because that's what I come down to.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? It's really funny because, I have a weight problem, and I'm always working on it. And I've been thinking lately of having the surgery. And I go, because I'm probably not going to do it on my own unless somebody stands with me all day long and puts down food that's healthy and good for me. I'm probably not going to, because look at it. I had a blue cheeseburger.
Is the road harder for you? I mean, personally, for me on the road, it's much harder.
The food is. That's but, I love the road, but it is. It's really hard, isn't it?
Because you don't have your own stuff there.
Yes. And I bring a suitcase full of weird things I put around the room. Do you ever do that?
No, I travel with carry-on. What kind of weird stuff, though?
Like I have a pillow that I put in the top of the bag that I sleep with.
Oh, okay.
Well,
that's not weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't mean,
just stuff that reminds you of home. Makes it a little more homey.
Just I have a whole, look at, I got something my brother Tommy gave me. It's in my pocket. Like he said, these little things here.
They're little, what are they? They're little paper?
They're little illuminated things so you can find stuff at night. When you get up, like if you're looking for something, it'll light you up. And I just laughed. I just went, Tommy, you're so crazy. You're so he goes, you know what? You're going to use them.
I would say they look very practical.
What a practical gift that is.
Yeah. Very practical.
Yeah, and he was that kind of kid. He's a great kid.
How many are you? How many kids?
There were 11. There's 4.
You're one of 11.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I knew you came from a big family. I didn't know it was 11
too. Wow.
What were the ages from, the age difference, I should say?
20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you're thinking of surgery?
I'm thinking about having that sleeve. I went and talked to the doctor. And, if you listen to him too closely, you won't have it.
Why?
It's frightening.
Well, just because they say, basically we're going to slice your stomach in half. And I go, oh, if you could only really do that.
Yeah.
You could just cut the front of my stomach off. And that, but I mean, they're going to do that. And then they do this thing. I've met a few people who've had it. They cut the ghrelins, they're called, which are the hormones that I think, I'm guessing at all this stuff. But this is what I remember. He says, we cut the part of your stomach that has ghrelins in it. And the ghrelins are the things at night that make you hungry. I go, I knew it was something. I knew it wasn't me.
It sounds like gremlins.
Yes,
it sounds like gremlins.
Howie Mandel is sitting.
Gizmo is living inside you.
So I looked at it, and I've lost 11 pounds because I have a 2,100 calorie resting metabolic rate.
What's that mean? I don't know what that means.
That means I burn 2,100 calories laying on the bed.
Wow.
Doing nothing.
Really?
Yeah. And so I've been eating 1,800 calories by noon. So I actually ate today's last night with the burger.
With the blue cheeseburger.
Yeah. It's one of those things where a buddy of mine, Paul, on Facebook, he's been doing his weight thing. He had the stomach thing. And he lost almost 100 pounds. And
almost everybody loses at 100, 150 pounds. And when you're 400 pounds, you are hard to lift. No.
What's that scene in Baskets?
I noticed that there were things that I did in Baskets where I went, that was really hard getting up those stairs and making it look like I could do it.
Huh.
And I think it was great that Jonathan left that in there to show how
like the character,
big people really have difficulty moving around. But so I just looked at it as this: that 100 pounds would be like a nice jump start. It would give me because I like being active, believe it or not. I would ride bikes and do all that stuff, but it's very difficult to find a bike that's 400-pound friendly.
I saw you tweet a picture of you on a bike
on a recumbent bike. Yeah. I can ride one of those, and I rode that. Was fantastic.
That looked pretty cool. I think I want one of those.
Right.
When I do loops in Central Park, and you see a few of these.
Yeah, they're good, aren't they?
People seem to really enjoy them.
I've seen those guys.
And you're getting some exercise.
Yeah, I've seen those guys.
I found out about them with the Wounded Warrior thing. I was going to do a ride to recover. Because that's a big thing. There's a big program in Minnesota, and I was going to do it with it. But I'm down there. I'm in Florida right there. They have a Pinellas Trail that you can ride, and I made it all the way there and back, so I was really thrilled.
That looks awesome. That looks really fun.
Yeah. It's much harder than you think. But
I'm sure, yeah.
And that's like a 15 speed, which I don't know any technical stuff on any of it.
Right.
And anyone who's ever done the surgery and stuff that I've met, they're so happy they did. And there's nothing. I've lost some, but not like it was just over the process of time. And
when you've lost a lot of weight, though, haven't you?
Probably.
Aren't you another? Like, how much more?
I would
30?
say more than that at one point.
Yeah.
I mean, 40 over a few years ago, and then you peak, and then you lower, then you peak. But throwing clothes out is the best feeling ever. You're fucking like, I'm done with this.
Never again, right?
No, and you don't give yourself the size to get back into. Like I don't leave the sizes.
Oh, that's really smart.
Yeah, so if I put weight back on, well, fuck me, I'm going to feel it as soon because I can't just jump back up in a shirt size. But you get addicted to the compliments. Hey, you lost 2 pounds.
Yeah,
and that fuels you to do more.
And what do you think, like, you know, when you're saying this, you know, it's really interesting because I think it's important. When you say, because because you learn to become that person who's heavier. And me, I built kind of a show around it. So I have to dismantle a part of my personality. You know, I really do. I mean, you know, I do some killer stuff. Like, you know, like I do a thing on the sizes of shirts. Why are they X's? Why not pictures of mammals? Why not, you know? Hey, do you have this in a sloth or a wildebeest? Hey, can I wear sloths and wildebeest together? Because that's what. Why not be literal about it? Hey, what are you down to? A small buffalo? Yeah? Bison. I call it a bison.
I think you just go through the process, you'll come up with new material about losing weight. That'll be just as funny.
I'm sure I will.
I have no doubt that someone like you would do that.
No, I'm not worried about the material.
Okay.
I'm just saying that I think this becomes a person.
It's a way. I think it's the way we convince ourselves to stay unhealthy. Like, because that part of me, like when I was quitting smoking, I think Colin said it to me. You convince yourself that the cigarettes are a part of who you are, and that you're giving up a part of yourself. But it's just getting rid of something that's external that I've made a part of my. You know. But yeah, it's weird. These things I associate with being Jim Norton, and it's like, oh, if I lose that, I'm losing a big piece of my act, like with my perversion or all this stuff. Like, what do I talk about?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff in the world. It probably opens you up more because, like, okay, this fucking giant thing that's always with me isn't there. So now the whole rest of the world I can start focusing on.
Do you think, though, because you're exactly right, do you think that because, you know, that's a loss, and loss is what we end up dealing with always. It's always about loss. Like, we're all dealing with loss at all times, in my opinion. Like, with my brother, I just cried and cried and cried and cried and still could cry 1,000 more times. So if I do that, where I just keep being emotional about it, that's the secret to the loss. If I hold on to it, that's the blue cheese.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Because that's the comfort I can accept right now, because I don't want to let go.
Sure.
I don't want to grieve.
Right.
Because then I'm letting go. I mean, I think it's right in there. Mm-hmm. I think that's right in there. Like, I have to conjure up anger towards my father to do the character right on stage, because I don't have it.
Because you let it go.
I completely forget.
Yeah, you let it go.
Because I see clearly what a great guy he was on another level, and what a talented human being he was. So I had to let that go. So the evolution takes time, and I think it's all about letting go of this.
I got to ask you, so what do you think about to get the anger up to do the dad bits? Is there one thing you go, okay, I'll go to this moment and then I'm ready to do this on stage? And which one is it? If you want to share. Yeah, you don't have to.
No, I know. It's the, you know, I'm always and forever mad at someone. So it's as simple. Like, I'll probably do it about you, you know, and your control nature, you know. God damn it. But I mean,
I'll be over here for a little while.
No, I'm kidding you.
I'm going to go get a cup of coffee.
Perfect. So you just get the fire smoldering with something, and then the voice is a little easier.
And with Christine, I get into the fact that my mom never, like, if she was nice, but there was a catch. Could you run over and just pick up this thing for me? And then when you're on your way there, you got the second call. As long as you're in that area, could you also pick me up some sea salt that my friend has gotten for me when they were at the sea? You know what I mean? Yeah. And then it was just like, and then as long as you're coming back by Apple Bombs, which is a grocery store, would you mind going in and getting some chuck steak? Yes. Yes, I would mind. I would mind all that. I'm not getting the salt. I'm not getting the chuck steak, and I'm not even going on your first errand. So that's where Christine comes from.
Sure. This is my mother. That's my mom too.
Yeah, that's a lot of moms.
Hell yeah.
You're nailing a lot of our moms with that character.
Yeah.
Well, we owe our moms because they bore us, and so we're completely tied to them. Mm-hmm. In fact, I never even knew death was real until my mom died. I never even took it myself as there was mortality. Mm-hmm. I never thought I could ever die until that very moment. Then I went, oh my God, I could die.
When did she die?
1990.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she saw you have some success.
Yeah.
She took her to the White House.
Yeah. She did.
Right.
Yeah. She did get to see a lot of the success. But isn't it funny with your parents? They don't ever think you're successful till their friends bring it up.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hey, Janet called and said you're just terrific on the Tonight Show. Yeah.
Yeah,
I am terrific on I'm terrific. Yes, I know. But Janet called me, and then I thought, oh my God, Janet hates everything.
Then they see you on HBO doing a Janet's a cunt bit.
She didn't like that bit. That Jim Norton kid, he's got a sweet face, but he's misguided. He's mad. And ask him who he's mad at. I just like to know. Ask him exactly who he's mad at. He's mad at you, Mother. He's been mad at you for years.
Oh, God. When you took her to the White House, did she do the mom thing? Was there that, like you talked about, was she, when she's like, this is awesome, and then kind of
I was sometimes not nice to my mom, and I regret that.
Oh, we all do. We all do.
Just because you think they're going to embarrass you. But really, you're embarrassed by you, and you put it on your parents. But my mom was funny. She goes, take a picture of me by Nixon. And I go, Mom, he's a Republican. Oh, I like Nixon. I go, Mom, why do you... I don't know. He seemed like your father. And I go, yes, you're right. And my dad hated Nixon. And then she go, she was just a lovely, funny lady. She was so
That
funny.
is crazy.
You would have really loved her.
Where'd you see Nixon? There?
There's a portrait. There's a portrait. Yeah. No, Nixon was nowhere near the White House then.
No.
He was still alive, though.
Oh, he was alive,
He was
yeah.
a long time, yeah.
We got a guy that wants to tell you about the sleeve. He says, "Don't get the sleeve." You want this call?
Why not?
All right,
you can't convince me of anything.
Okay, Jay. Why
Jay
not the sleeve?
Leno, thank you, Jay. We've been wondering how. Go ahead.
I was 520. Now I'm 320.
Nice.
The sleeve, what happens is all they do is they make your stomach smaller, but your absorption rate is a lot different with the gastric bypass. You're not absorbing everything there. So what happens is you're just making your stomach smaller. That's it. Your absorption rate is the same no matter what. If you get the gastric bypass, your absorption rate is different, so you're not absorbing all that other stuff. So it just goes through your body. So
well, what did you get?
Gastric bypass.
Ah, well, that's the severest one, right?
Yeah, and
they actually don't they just bypass your stomach?
Well, your stomach is a little bit smaller. And what happens is they take part of your small intestine. You're not using it, so that's why you're
not using it. Who's using it up till then?
Why is it?
Well, I mean, it goes from 25 feet to like 15, 20 feet. So you're not absorbing that first amount.
So you're not absorbing the first amount of all those fats and things, right?
Right. And you know what? And to tell you the truth, the first week was a bitch, but after that. I'm so glad I did it. And you got a little bit of the skin, but who you impressing.
Well, if I ever did that and I had all that skin, I'd make a little me, just to creep people out. Who is that? That's me right there.
Louie 1.5.
They got surgery for that too, though. They cut down the skin.
Thank you so much.
We've known a few guys that have gotten the surgeries.
Yeah,
Hard Rock Johnny.
He just texted me.
Did he get the sleeve?
This guy looks amazing. So whatever he did,
I don't know. He talked Lisa Lampanelli through hers though, so he said if you want his number.
And how's Lisa? Is she good?
She looks great. Yeah, she's
she
really
amazing?
good. Yeah,
and she reinvented herself then, right?
A different person. Yeah,
on stage though. I mean,
I haven't seen her on stage.
Yeah, I wonder about that.
Yeah, because, she was, is she getting away with the same stuff or is she thinking the same,
I always wonder that stuff.
Do you get afraid that if you do it, it's going to be hard because, I'm still this addictive person?
Yeah.
And then if I remove the ability to do what I want to do, now I'm kind of screwed.
The thing is that now I really think in my life, and then when you lose your baby brother, I'm still speaking from that loss quotient. Everything's different now. I doubt that I'll be the same because this was the sibling I was the closest to. This is like a best friend sibling where you talk to him all the time and all that stuff. So I am reevaluating everything. Like what's really important to me. Mm-hmm. Like I see these guys, these cowards who blew up those innocent people, and I think, what are we doing? What is going on now? What's it all about? And I start thinking in those things. So I don't know if that's temporary. If I do it, maybe I should do a regular show like this. Because this is like, if you're going to do something, this is a good job for people to have. You come here, you have a real purpose. Because I think people who are addictive of things should have purpose. Because I think they're bad on their own.
Right.
They can only end up in a corner, at a bakery, or you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I think that it's really important to have a real purpose. So I'm really glad I have baskets, and I'm working with all these creative people. I'm working on the idea of producing a brand new animated show.
Nice.
Thinking about something really different there. I've always wanted to do a 1-hour drama.
About what? Have you thought of it?
I probably would do it about the way I grew up in my family. Mm-hmm. But, the other side of that, where I made everything palatable. I would make it a lot less palatable, and the real situation. Yeah, I mean, real.
Yeah, right.
Because I always say write what you know, because right. I don't think people know. I think you have to know what you're doing. I've only been successful with stuff that I have experienced. I haven't been, like, hey, here's a abstract idea.
That makes sense, though, right?
Yeah, and so those are the kind of things that I'm really interested in, and I just think what really matters is the same thing. What I've always said in my act is right from the beginning is, don't hold your parents accountable for all the stuff they did. Try to work towards forgiveness. Be nice to your brothers and sisters. And, my thing's always been about love. And so it'll go back to that love thing. And, so I don't know. I think if I lost all the weight, I don't know that I would reinvent myself as a comic. I might look for something different to do.
Yeah, well, the whole process, I'm sure, would just spark it. It's
don't
like
you think?
Yeah, it's one of those
for
things.
sure. Gotta be.
Absolutely.
Gotta
be.
be.
Did you see yourself when you started being on something like this back then?
No, and it just happens as it kind of goes.
And it was organic, right?
Just organic.
With you, didn't it just happen like you started doing the show and then you were part of the show?
Yeah, then just start coming in. Opie's like, come in some more. Come in some more. It was just
now
one
they
of
just
those.
started dragging me in the past few months, much to the chagrin of a lot of people.
Well, I think in a show like, I think...
Why am I laughing hard now? I think you'll find yourself as you go through the journey.
Yeah.
And then maybe you decide, no, I do want to do more stand-up.
I tell you what's really important in my message is, who have you not called that you should have, or you should call right now? I'm telling people that.
That was J.K. Simmons. Didn't he say with the actor with Oscar? He said, "Call your mom. Call your mom." He said, "Call your mom." And I love that. I thought it was amazing.
I meet people who haven't talked to they'll say, like, I haven't talked to my sister in 7 years.
Oh,
I go, let's call him.
Yeah, right.
I go, let's call him right now. And I ask him if we can call him.
And
I call him, and I go, hey, what's going on? Who is this? It's Louie Anderson. Why do you have my sister's phone? Well, I ran into her. She's a big fan of mine, of course. And she said she hasn't talked to you in 7 years. That's right. Well, why is that? That seems crazy to me, Well, it's a personal, it's fam. Well, do you want to talk to her? Well, let me talk to her for a second. And I don't know what happens after that. That isn't for me to.
Yeah.
But you've done this.
I've done it more than once because it is amazing to me.
I bet, yeah.
That for 7 years you haven't talked to somebody. Now, if they did something that really was criminal or beyond that, you still are set with it. Just remember that. It's still in the gut of your stomach. I think you're going to have to deal with it one way or another.
There's one part of that I don't understand.
Yeah.
You got to stick around and hear the conversation, Louie.
Then
it's a little rough. You guys,
but why?
Order a blue cheeseburger.
But why? Oh, you mean because I need to?
Because it's fascinating.
No,
not to moderate.
No,
just because we're all nosy in the end.
No, he just wants to drop the bomb of goodness and walk away.
Tell you
I'm
what,
just saying that would be tough for most humans, most people to do.
I'm with you. I would want to hear.
But I know what the
I
next part of the conversation is.
Yeah,
don't you?
Yeah, sure.
We all know what it is. You just want it to be perfect,
right?
And be that Hallmark card. But life isn't a Hallmark card.
No, not even close.
Yeah, it's just a mess usually.
Yeah.
That's funny.
They're saying you have to go. This sucks. Where are you going?
Do you know Harvey Weinstein? He and I were very close at one point, and we had a weird falling out, and I haven't talked to him in years.
He wanted me to play.
I was just hoping you'd have his number and you could put me on the phone with him.
You self-serving bastard, you, Jimmy. Just because I introduced you to Dice one goddamn time.
Oh, he got you.
I love you guys.
He got you.
He totally
So you're announcing,
me in there.
Is it official that Baskets is picked up for a second season?
Yeah.
I would assume. I mean, come on. It's a great show. Season finale tomorrow at 10 p.m. on FX.
Hey, you can come and watch it with me.
That's what I was getting
That's an
at.
amazing thing, right?
Louie Anderson's at Caroline starting tomorrow through Saturday, and if you go Thursday, after your set, you'll watch Baskets with Louie and Martha.
Season finale.
Season finale.
Yeah.
And we're seeing Martha, we thought in an hour, but apparently it's next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, we'll
There's
see
been
her.
a booking mistake. And Louie Anderson on Twitter.
Yes.
And, go see Louie live at Caroline's. And he's just a great comic.
Hey, listen, I would like to sell a lot of tickets at Caroline. So you guys, if you have any pity for me, come down and buy tickets.
Let's push it.
Because you know what's good? I don't want them to lose any money because I'm going to get paid no matter what. Yeah. And I don't want them. And also, I am so goddamn good on stage.
You're amazing.
Go see
you have
Lou,
no
yeah.
idea.
I was about to say that.
You have no idea how good I am.
How about you come back tomorrow and we'll really push this thing?
I'll try and come back tomorrow in between.
Try. If you can.
If I can, I definitely will.
We would love to have
I love you guys.
This was a real thrill. Louie Anderson. And don't forget the podcast every Tuesday.
Yes.
You can get that through iTunes and all
Jimmy,
the
you gotta
usual
do my
places.
podcast.
I would love to.
Opie.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
All right.
I was scared you weren't going to add me to that
Why
list
not?
of people to do your podcast.
Everybody in this room.
What about Vic Henley?
Vic, yes.
I'm leaving it out. I'm always
guys.
up
All right,
that.
we're going to take a break. Louie Anderson, everyone.
Good seeing you, buddy.
Back with Vic Henley and Jim Norton, and wow, Louie Anderson was great. First time I've ever talked to him.
Oh, you never met Louie?
Never. He is such a great guy.
He's lovely.
He is amazing.
A lovely man.
That was a good hour, man.
He's the first guy I ever saw do this, where you move the mic out. Let me move this so you can see me. Move the mic stand.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Just legendary. Yeah. I was working the club, the little theater in West Palm Beach was connected to the comedy club. So every now and then when you'd be in there in the 200-seat comedy club, somebody like Louie would be in the 750-seat theater next door, and you could wander between the club and stand backstage. And Whitney, Larry the Cable Guy, was with me, and he's like, dude, Foxworthy, as soon as he gets on stage, we're like, we've seen this shit. Let's go watch Louie Anderson. He's in the theater next door.
That's awesome.
And we stood in the wings and watched him, as young, hopeful comics, probably like mine, like 28 years ago or something like that.
You think Larry made $72 million in 1 year?
Possibly. Hell yeah. I believe so.
Man. All right.
I've seen his car. It's some kind of weird-ass Tesla.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like 4 of them.
Yeah, one of those cars they ever make 4 or 5, and they're good.
It's amazing. It's really cool.
Donald Trump wins Arizona primary. Ted Cruz wins Utah. I think Ted Cruz had over 50%, so he gets all the delegates in Utah, I believe. All 40, I think. So that's pretty interesting. Then Hillary won Arizona, and then Bernie won Utah and Idaho. And they're all going, why is Bernie still in this damn thing? He doesn't really have a path to the nomination.
I guess he's just trying to keep, is he going to spend all his money and just keep getting his message out? I don't know.
One time I said, a quitter never wins and a winner never quits. I said that.
I don't really understand why he's staying in the race. I kind of glad he is, I guess, but
yeah,
I kind of like Bernie Sanders.
Keeps it interesting.
Keeps it interesting. And then Jeb Bush, another one of these fake endorsements. He's going to endorse Ted Cruz.
Why would they? Of course.
It's not he doesn't really believe in Ted Cruz, but he's doing that because it might help get Trump not the nomination.
Embarrassing.
So that's all more political bullshit that's happening. That's pretty obvious to all of us, right?
I was going to say, right, could you ever do anything like that in your real life, young Jim Norton? Like, totally not be for something and stand there and say, oh,
well, Vic, it would all depend on what the payoff was.
I was hoping for a better
I know, I apologize, but I had to go the route of honesty.
That's perfect. I like it.
Oh, I hate these guys and their endorsements.
It's fucking right. When
we saw the debates.
I know.
For the most part, they didn't like each other. Most of these people.
Jeb called Ted a cunt. Remember that?
Yeah,
it was so bizarre.
It was a big moment. And Gawker founder says Hulk Hogan's lawsuit was not about sex tape, but to suppress racist rant.
No, I think it was about all of it.
I think you're right, Jimmy.
The whole package has to be included. Yeah, you can't just cherry pick out of that whole mess. But I like it. I'm glad he got the goddamn money.
Yeah, me too. Whatever it was about, that was vulturous shit.
And why was his wife? And then his wife came out and read a letter saying that he was just a giant. That just seemed like she was just piling. Who solicited her and wanted her goddamn opinion about anything?
Well,
they've been divorced like 5 years since 2010 or something.
Yeah, I haven't seen this yet. I heard about it. Why don't we play it for everybody?
Yeah, she looks like Vince Neil now.
Yeah, she.
But why the fuck? Why do we care what you have to say? You were 5 years removed from this.
She wants to be in the.
Yeah, exactly.
The limelight.
The limelight.
A little bit of the fame whore.
Yeah, she wants some headlines for herself. Linda Hogan slams Hulk's $115 million payout. It's actually 140 people. It made me sick. It's dirty money.
No, she hammered him. She wrote a letter and was reading it aloud. It's
all right. Let me see this. I haven't seen this yet.
It made me a little bit sick.
Hulk Hogan's ex-wife, Linda, is speaking out about the staggering $115 million award.
Can you pause to start? It shows she doesn't have much to say because they're doing the voiceover. Yeah. I always love that.
One sentence.
They were hoping for more from her and realized, we got to pump this up. Get our announcer to talk over what she's saying.
I think she realized that she's not going to get any either.
It appears to be all of that. It is totally useless. You were removed from the situation. You divorced him. It was years ago.
She's got a lot of money, though, man.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
She's doing just fine.
It's like I say in my book, the almighty dollar. It seems like $1 more important. It's the opening chapter.
What font are you using to portray that it's an angry title?
I tilt it to the right with an exclamation point. The almighty dollar in paperback.
Maybe a lightning bolt font?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I like that a lot.
Go back to Linda Hogan slamming the Hulk.
Legend just won.
I don't know how he can sleep at night knowing that he's got the money for doing what he did.
Do you think
to get that money in a roundabout way?
Do you look at it as blood money?
I do. It's dirty money.
Linda tells me she was floored when she heard the size of the massive verdict.
When the jury came back with a verdict of $115 million, what was your reaction?
My phone started blowing up and people were like, Hulk won $115 million. And I was like, what? I thought it's kind of representing saying to the public that he's being rewarded for bad behavior.
Linda thinks Erin Andrews' headline-making victory in her Peeping Tom trial may have played a role in Hulk Hogan's case.
Possibly it had a lot to do with it because I think that people are kind of tired of it. And quite frankly, I don't know that everybody wants to see that.
Hogan sued the website Gawker for posting those secretly recorded videos him having sex with his best friend's wife, Heather Cole. The transcripts of those secret recordings have now been unsealed. Hogan tells Heather, I can't believe I'm here. I should be home. He also tells her, I'm just a dumb country bumpkin. My career is over.
He has only himself to blame. He made very many poor decisions.
And we're now seeing the angry text messages between the Hulkster and Heather's husband, the radio shock jock who calls himself Bubba the Love Sponge. It was Bubba who secretly recorded his wife and Hogan having sex. That is how somebody treats their best friend, went one text from Hogan as he unloaded on Bubba. Thanks for never being my friend and destroying my life. Bubba calls Heather a very evil woman that I'm embarrassed to have been married to. Linda and the Hulk split in 2007. We spoke to her at her beautiful home outside Los Angeles, which she bought after their divorce.
Hulk is getting money for a tape he made while you were married to him. Do you feel like you're entitled to some of that money?
I don't need that. I ended up with an okay settlement, and I'm fine, and I'm all right. To have that kind of a windfall of cash for something that you did that was just so seedy, it's bothersome to me. I wouldn't want to share any of that.
See, I thought
I'm sure you would.
I didn't know. I was wrong. I didn't know it took place when they were still married. I thought that.
No, I get why she'd be still scorned, but I mean, stop. There's a whole privacy issue there too.
Yes.
And why do we know did the text messages become public? Does anyone know?
Just because they were
was
sealed.
Was it part of the case, probably?
They probably just were happy to unseal it, and you see that it's nothing or whatever. They were that's a throw-in, it seemed to me.
It had to be part of the case.
Yeah. No, right.
I would assume.
The deposition
and now we could get the text messages out there between Bubba and the Hulk. The whole thing is fucked up.
Just the names.
He knows that Hulk was being taped. Bubba had to have known.
Yeah. The whole thing. It's just
had to have known.
To say Bubba the Love Sponge and Hulk and right. Sex tape and
his best friend.
Yeah, all of it. All of it. To legally change your name to Bubba the Love Sponge.
They're too old to have best friends. Right?
Yeah.
You can have friends when you're older, but I think you get to an age where you shouldn't have a best friend.
Your bestie.
Your bestie. So that's terrific. It's up to 140 million. Huge news for the UFC. We got the UFC coming to New York finally. It was the last state not to have UFC.
I'm against
or MMA fighting.
I don't think it should be legal in New York.
You're against it?
Yes, I am.
Wow, I gotta text Dana White and tell him that.
That's right. I'm badminton. That's what everybody should be playing. No, it's such great news. I heard on Twitter where I got
so excited yesterday because I know how much Dana White and everybody else associated with the UFC, especially, wanted this.
So did they have an event scheduled, or they've just greenlit something?
I was reading this morning, Madison Square Garden by the end of the year. That's what they're hoping for.
There you go.
That's what they're hoping for.
Yeah, I think the first big fight they want to do is a guy named Charlie Fleur.
Charlie Fleur.
Yeah, Flurrn. He's had 2 fights. He's 1-1.
1-1? That's... Yeah. I think they'd want a better fight than that for the first time in New York City.
Flurn. What?
Flurn. How do you spell Flurn?
Flurrn. It's a really double R, double N. That's his big thing.
Double N.
You're going to need a double R, double N. It's a whole nurse thing that he says. Yeah.
Who's he fighting against?
Craig Jeffries.
Okay. I don't know.
Craig Jeffries. His big thing is not Greg Jeffries, because that was a baseball player, I think. Craig Jeffries. Yep, he's 1-6. Yeah. Flurn is expected to wipe the floor with him.
Well, it got a little weird, though, up there in Albany, because Rosie O'Donnell's brother. And everyone's like, you do know he's gay, don't you? Yes.
We work together. How could he not know? Oh.
So Rosie's brother got involved and basically was calling MMA gay porn. Ooh. Do we have the actual audio of this? It's loading? Okay. Rosie O'Donnell's brother, Daniel, likened the sport to gay porn with a different ending. He goes on to say, argued on the assembly floor that the sport often boasts 2 nearly naked hot guys rolling around in a cage trying to dominate each other.
That's what it is.
He's not. I mean, he's a little right, I guess. A little right. If you don't understand sports in general, I guess that's what it would look like, right?
Yeah, I was on the regular wrestling team in high school, and so we always got accused of all those sweaty rolling around with men on mats jokes.
I was never able to do the wrestling thing.
Absolutely not. You're hard on getting bent.
So I was a fat kid, and I wanted my friend Norton. My Norton was a smaller dude, and he weighed 98 pounds, and it was a sport he could do, and he ended up being a state champion 3 or 4 years in a row.
You had a friend named Norton?
I had my longest friend for 50 years is his name, Chuck Norton. Norton, yes.
Yeah.
And Norton was a bad man. And so I got on the wrestling team just because I was a fat ass who wanted to lose weight, and it worked.
Was it ever weird for you?
I didn't know. I didn't care.
I always felt like it was weird. I tried a lot of sports in junior high and high school, and that was one I was just like...
I enjoyed watching Norton beating the shit out of people. It was really fun. He was so good.
That sounds nice.
It was really cool and fun because he was so good that he was
so damn good.
In the middle of the match, he could stop and look over at us. He goes, "What do you want me to pin him with?" And we could yell something out, and he could do it. That's how good he was. Yeah.
What did he do with that talent?
He got in a lot of trouble, and got a teenager pregnant, and does the whole Alabama thing.
So what you should have said to him? Hey Norton, were you with the honeymooners or something?
So
did he?
Hey Norton, were you in the sewer?
Did he wrestle in college?
He did not, but I think our senior year, our coach left us, and we got a new guy, and the new guy hated all of us, and so we all quit.
He sounds perceptive.
So out of there were 12 weight classes, and 7 other. We all quit. We just quit. We didn't like the guy anymore, and we gave up. We didn't want to wrestle.
The whole team quit over a coach?
7 out of 12 spots, yeah, because we didn't like the guy. The guy was an asshole.
But everyone knows of a shitty high school coach.
He didn't know jack shit about it and had to go to the library to check out a book to try to keep him. So we're trying to go, look, we've been wrestling since the 8th grade.
But
we know more about
yourself.
this than you.
Now you're giving up on something you like doing.
He was such an asshole, and we didn't care. It was high school.
Did
Fuck
you guys continue wrestling in
private?
In your friends' basements?
Yes, they did. No
on a Saturday night after a few beers?
It's true, with some Johnson's baby oil.
After a few cold ones, let's start our own wrestling league.
Yeah.
What do you say, boys?
Hey Norton, what are you going to the sewer to do some work or something?
Now he would always do that. He was always saying Norton. He was always doing that.
Hey Norton, what are you, Ralph Cramden's neighborhood friend or something? Those are good jokes for Norton. Hey Norton, what are you over there with your black hat coming down the darn steps to Ralph Cramden's house or something?
Oh my God.
Those are good Norton jokes.
Yes.
I have a better one even.
Please.
Oh, hey Norton, who are you going to go call up a Trixie, the wife or something, and talk to her about issues? Oh, there's many more coming. It's a long morning.
So they banned the MMA back in '97.
Yeah,
and it was only after they loosened up on some of the they made some rules, is what I should say. They adopted rules outlawing moves like, I forgot. This is when I was like sort of on. I loved the MMA, but some of these matches you would be like, holy fuck, what they were getting done. And they got rid of, what did they get rid of? The throat shots.
Yeah. I understand that one.
The finger breaking.
Oh, I get that.
They would just break your fucking fingers. Damn. Hair pulling and the groin kicks.
Yeah, those were all understandable.
And also, there was a time you didn't really tap out, right?
That I don't remember. I mean, I wouldn't tap out being the type of man I am, but I mean, some men need to.
Or you literally had to be close to, death, whatever, and they would finally stop the fight. I think
it was a different world.
It was definitely different. They definitely get in there and protect the fighters a little more than they used to. So, but they, but they got rid of all that stuff years ago, and that's where Dana White's frustration was. He's like, come on, man, we cleaned up the sport a little bit, and, it's time for New York to allow this. But he was dealing with the unions and blah, blah, blah.
I was going to say.
And it's finally done, and they are so excited at UFC.
Some of it is still so brutal. I mean, it is just brutal. When the clip you guys showed me where the recent home where she lost, where she was just twitching there at the end when she went out,
Holly Holm?
Yeah.
And Misha Tate?
Yeah.
You thought that was brutal?
Well, I
thought it used to be a lot worse than that.
I know, but I thought at the end when it looked like it was her body reacting and she was totally out, and then it was like a little kangaroo arm twitch punch.
That was her reflex, she was still fighting.
I know, it was so weird for me when you guys showed me that, because it sort of creeped me out, because I knew she was unconscious. I knew she was unconscious, and it was just her body reacting. And,
that doesn't bother me.
I've seen
some of the earlier.
I'm used to that from sex.
Some of the earlier fights, though.
I've seen guys. I saw a guy.
You're like, please just stop this thing. Holy fuck! Elbows to the head.
I was going to say elbow to the temple.
Elbow
to the temple. I've seen so many times. Just like, good
they're
God,
a good band.
Elbow to the temple.
Elbow to the temple. Look at there, right there. She's right. Hey Norton, why don't you bring these girls into the sewer or something? Get sewer juice on them. That's what I would have said to Norton. Some very good Norton slams. I've heard them all.
Do we have Rosie O'Donnell's brother? I got to hear him say this.
Yes.
What an idiot.
I should really like it. You have two nearly naked, hot men rolling around on top of one another, trying to dominate each other. And just in case you don't know, that's gay porn with a different ending. Okay?
What a hateable guy. Hateable.
I won't describe the ending for you, but as I've gotten older, the endings are less important. Okay, so.
Yeah, doing a little comedy.
He stinks.
Doing a little
What is he
comedy.
doing?
Doing a little comedy.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's just trying to get a little laugh, you know.
A little laugh?
As he's busy wishing he could fuck someone else's business up.
Right. What
the
a
worst.
What a weirdo.
Oh.
I should like it.
And the funny thing is, I agree with his take on the films. But,
Wow.
yeah, I mean, hey, Norton, why don't you come over here and go down there with your sewer boots?
What a strange one. My God.
You don't think that was a good one?
Going to cut all this from the replay.
If you're trying to, so what's he against it for? Just the violent aspect of it? So he tries to open it. I don't know what he's doing.
I think it's union shit.
It's got to be.
It's got to be. Come on.
It's like you said, he's fucking with somebody else's livelihood.
Yes. All right. So there you go. Congrats to the UFC and Dana White especially. He wanted this bad. He's finally got it.
Very happy for those guys.
You should be special ring announcer that night, Jim Norton.
They asked me already, would you go up there in a pair of your underpants and hold up like a ring girl? I said, I certainly will. Go up there and titillate your audience.
I think you'd be perfect.
I certainly do. I'm going to go up there and titillate the audience. Hey, look, it's Jim Norton. Everybody will be yelling, oh, hey, look, it's the sewer man. Where were you, on the honeymooners?
Rob Ford has lost his battle with cancer.
Oh, yeah.
The Toronto
saw
mayor.
that coming.
Only 46, though. Man, Rob Ford is dead. He gave us some entertainment there
for a while.
Huh?
Yeah, good stuff.
The most famous one was the pussy line.
Just the embracing of the whole full on, and he kept winning. You know, he still had support, even when he couldn't run for mayor again. He dropped back down to councilman, and he still got elected.
Right,
Douglas.
There was a lot of people that just loved the guy, the crack smoking mayor.
Yep, that's right, baby.
Do we have the pussy line really fast? Most people have heard this, but
he would be Good Canada in the Good Canada Bad Canada game. I would call him Good Canada.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you play that game.
I would call him Good Canada.
Oh, and the last thing was Olivia Gondak. It says that I wanted to eat her pussy. Olivia Gondak. I've never said that in my life to her. I would never do that. I'm happily married. I've got more than enough to eat at home. Thank you very much.
Anything that was true.
Still good. Still good.
Oh, Rob Ford, you will be missed. He was all right.
Yeah, man, he was a delight.
He was a delight. And then for basketball fans, Craig Sager, horrible news yesterday.
Yeah, he's not going to make it.
He's the TNT guy that did the sideline reporting with the very colorful suits.
Yes, he's always wearing the loud sport coats.
And he is beloved by most of the NBA players. And his leukemia came back, and it was announced yesterday that he only has 3 to 6 months to live.
Oh, no, I didn't hear that. I heard that his leukemia was back. But...
It came back, and then he got the bad news that he's only got 3 to 6.
Oh, it's...
Is this the clip of him talking about it on Real Sports? I supposedly did an interview on HBO's Real Sports about it.
I understand that last month of February, you heard from the doctors again, and you're not in remission anymore. Do I have that right?
Yeah.
So what's next?
Well, uncharted waters. I've already had 2 stem cell transplants. Very rarely does somebody have a third. So I have to maintain my strength so I can go through this.
How are you feeling today?
Still kicking, still fighting. I haven't won the battle. It's not over yet. But I haven't lost it either. There have been some victories and some setbacks. But I still have to fight it, and I still have a lot of work to do.
God.
That stinks. I'm not even familiar with that guy. I'm sure I've seen him, but I don't. Yeah,
you've seen him just by living.
And
if you're not a basketball fan,
he's what Ope said is true. The players love him. He can get access. He can get Popovich. Popovich is a really hard interview sometimes. The Spurs coach can be a hard ass.
Sometimes, Popovich doesn't play.
I love Popovich, but I saw
Jim Norton. Sorry, I just want to so he gets it while you're talking about this. Get a Popovich video for Jim Norton.
Popovich is Mamovich any better than Popovich? Popovich, I thought Vitches were all women. Go ahead, I'm being adorable to them, very tight. It's going to get ridiculous. Tight.
Oh my God. What were you?
No, I was going to say they like him. This is one of the rare where Popovich is actually nice and happy and friendly. He's usually kind of a hard ass in his answers, and he told him welcome back. And he said he felt good that he was healthy.
I mean, the coaches are forced to talk as they're going to halftime.
Unprecedented.
And so Popovich is like, all right, I'll do the bare fucking minimum because they're making me do this. And it's so entertaining every fucking time.
I love him. I love the dude,
you probably have a normal one here, though, Paul. I was looking for one of the ones where he's just very dismissive. You got one where he's very dismissive? I think we played a couple of these. With Craig
around the corner.
This is a preseason, right? We got to do this in the preseason? Are you kidding me?
Part of the contract.
In the preseason, we got to do this?
Well,
the preseason?
We have to rehearse and get ready. I need the practice.
God, okay.
What was your biggest challenge during this preseason?
Oh my gosh, getting to the restaurant on time.
The starting five intact, but we see Marco Bellinelli. How much impact will he have in the rotation?
I have to find him playing time. He's a good high IQ player, so I'll have to use him.
Well, it's the preseason, but I'm glad to see you're in mid-season form.
No more questions. That's two. Okay.
Yeah, and they have to answer two questions.
That's what he said. It's a contract. We have to do it. That was his first answer.
That's great. He's like, in the preseason, we got to do this shit.
Yeah. Just the look of disdain. He shakes his head. He's staring at the floor a couple of times, like shaking his head. Like, I cannot fucking believe I've got to stand here and talk to you right now.
Yeah, I would have asked tough questions.
Yeah.
Yes, I would have. I can't think of any now.
All right.
Very tuckered out.
Let's say hi to Travis in Rhode Island.
Hey, buddy! Oh.
Travis, what's going on?
He's right there, Ope. What's going on?
I can see him through the window.
Travis!
What's up?
Hey,
Not
buddy.
you.
Not me.
What's going on, Travis?
I'm tefting it up.
Don't make that a thing.
Yo, Vic Henley.
Yes.
Hey, yeah, you sound like Mad Country.
I sound mad country.
Yeah, but I looked you up and you look like a contestant on Runway Fashion Show.
Okay, I don't.
What?
He says I sound really country, but he looked what I look like, and I look like a contestant on the runway, fashion runway, whatever.
Well, he's not lying.
All right.
I don't know.
Hey, but now I want you guys to check out this video, MMA Red Naked Choke, Blood Squirt. I heard you guys talking about UFC earlier.
Bellator, actually, not UFC.
No, I said MMA.
Okay.
Or whatever, think so. But did you guys check that video out?
I'm looking at it right now. That's pretty messed up.
Yeah, I figured you like that shit.
It's I not necessarily. Basically, it's a chokehold and blood squirting everywhere.
That's
rough.
That's what's up, man. All right, guys, take care. Yeah, Jimmy, next time you come to the Comic Connection, I'm going to go see you again. You killed it last time.
Thanks, buddy.
All right.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it gets a little rough when it gets bloody out there in these MMA fights. That was a Bellator fight. Adam Piccolotti. I don't know him.
Yeah, Piccolotti.
Piccolotti.
From this far away without my glasses, it looks
Jenny
like
Piccolotti.
It looks like Jim Norton's choking the guy. It looks like a very robust Jim Norton choking somebody out. Yep.
All right, we're going to take a break. Vic Henley, where are you going to be?
I'm going to be at Magooby's in North Baltimore next month in April 20, 21, 22, 23, somewhere in there like that.
Very good. Yeah. And live from Lou's Cruise?
Live from Lou's Cruise, and here in New York City till then.
You get some people downloading that thing?
Oh, yeah, totally.
All right.
You know, every now and then somebody sends me a message and says it's not horrible.
Well,
they're like, some of this is actually kind of entertaining. I'm like, okay,
aren't they a treat?
It's lovely when you hear from the people. It is lovely when you hear from the people.
These people are just a treat. Still to come, we got Ace Frehley coming in to say hi.
10 a.m.
What is he promoting? He's got
a new album out. Yes, he does. It's called Origins Volume 1.
And where's he at with Kiss these days?
Him and Paul Stanley do a song together on the album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is nice.
But is Kiss still doing it? Are they still on tour? I don't know.
Yeah, Gene, Paul, and then Tommy and Eric, yeah.
Okay. And Ace is out with Peter Criss. They're out.
Yeah.
They're out. All right. We're going to have Ace Frehley in a little bit, some other things. You stay there. Got Vic Henley in studio today and a tired Jimmy Norton.
Where the fuck is Vic?
And, Jimmy met Bob De Niro last night and did a little acting. Make sure you listen to the replay if you're just tuning in.
It was a lot of fun.
It sounds like it was a blast.
Yeah, it was much nicer than I would have expected.
Very cool.
And I guess it's been such a crazy week. I mean, on Friday, Gwyneth was really fun.
Gwyneth?
Well, yeah, and I do that other project.
You didn't tell me about that.
Oh, yeah.
You met Gwyneth Paltrow?
Yeah, we had a scene.
In what movie?
Not a movie, it's a TV show.
Oh, very nice.
She's really stunning in person.
She is, huh?
Oh, fuck, man.
She was married to Chris Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Martin's still bummed about that whole thing.
I didn't bring that up.
Sad for a year.
Huh?
He said he was sad for a year.
Sad for a year. You read it.
Yeah.
But they still go on vacation together.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Probably for the kids.
Yeah.
He says it's been tough. Why did that break up? Wasn't he seeing somebody else?
I don't think there was cheating going on.
There was no
Maybe
cheating?
She had interest in me.
She did. Oh,
and he found out.
She found out Niro was available.
Yeah, she found out that I was. I written her note. I said I'm young and single, and I loves to mingle. And she liked how I pluralized the S.
Loves with the S.
Loves to mingle.
That's from Fame. Remember that, Leroy?
Yeah, I love Leroy.
Young and single, and I loves to mingle.
I think they picked him off the street. He was like a street dancer. Or
Yeah,
something.
Gene Anthony Ray.
Yeah, Gene Anthony Ray. Good call, Jimmy.
He died of AIDS not too long ago.
Damn.
A few years ago.
Ouch.
Remember he couldn't read?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, the whole thing.
Him and Ann Mira.
Ann Mira, yeah.
I thought you didn't die from AIDS anymore. I thought it's obviously you can, but I mean...
He might have gotten to the older AIDS where they just didn't have it down yet.
Oh, you never want the older AIDS.
No.
Oh, my God.
1.0, the original.
The dial-up of AIDS. Oh,
yeah.
boy.
The black dial phone.
Ouch.
Oh, no, I can hear the modem AIDS. Yeah, he had fucking...
Not good.
I guess it was before all the treatments and stuff
It's getting better, though. I know that.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting much better for the people that have to deal with that. So.
Yeah.
Vic Henley telling me during the break that we're talking about wrestling and you failed to mention
the highlight of my career. I was pinned by a blind man in 9 seconds.
9 seconds.
9 seconds. They have the blind start where you have to hold their hands. You're not across the circle from each other because they're blind. They can't see you.
That's not your problem.
So you have a hand-on-hand thing going, and the guy. One thing I knew: the referee blew the whistle. My feet were pointed at the ceiling. My head was pointed at the floor. He dropped me into a cradle. My nuts were in my mouth. He's squeezing the living shit out of me, and just gently kneels down and pins me. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. It was over in 9 seconds.
But that's because you had the blind start.
Well,
it would have been a little.
move.
If it would have been a little different if you started like.
It didn't matter. I was
crossing the street.
The best I ever did is win 9 and lose 9 one year.
500.
9 and 9.
9 and 9. That's not a bad season.
I never pinned anybody. I either got pinned in fucking 2 minutes and it was over, or I would win by points if I happened to make it all the way to the end.
Not
of the
a bad season. 9 and 9. Got a shot at the playoffs.
So,
was the blind wrestler good?
He was a 3-time state champ. Yeah,
sure.
So also,
at what though? at pinning fucking this idiot? Yes,
pinning me.
Yeah, at writing without writing all over the desk. No, he was
the
abominable.
It turned out he won some championships.
Yeah, he was a 3-time state champ. Talladega School of the Blind.
Well, good for him. I don't like that blind start though. I think
it's bull sugar.
And they were all old.
I don't think they want to be treated special.
It was. Well, we always question the fact that some of them had been there. We like this guy's got kids. He's been on the wrestling team since I was in the 3rd grade, and now he's in the 9th grade all of a sudden, and I'm a senior. And he drove here, and we were always questioning that they would fudge in the records at the blind school.
They like being treated special. They do want to be. They always say they don't want to be treated special, but they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many times I fucking throwing a kick at a blind guy? He's like, I'm blind. I'm like, where's all this? I don't want to be treated special shit.
My friend Norton, when you break
up. Oh, Norton, why don't you go to the sewer and get your dirty boots on or something?
Don't mention the name Norton.
If you split apart, the referee blows a whistle and makes you restart the blind start again.
See,
and so the guy got away from
That's a
The
disadvantage.
guy got away from my buddy, and he's literally wandering around with his arms out because he's blind.
Yeah.
And Norton just form tackled the shit out of him. The whole gym started booing. Everybody was yelling.
They should make the guy that could see wear a bell instead of stopping the match. That's not fair.
This guy's walking around like the mummy with his arms out.
Totally. And then Norton just measures him and just NFL fucking boom.
Hey, Norton, why don't you tackle him like he's Allison, Trixie, and Ralph in the gang?
I'm enjoying Travis, enjoying you doing.
Are you enjoying this?
Yeah, they have their own little show during the show.
I'm seeing that. Yes,
Travis enjoys
their own little show.
No,
Travis enjoys when a joke doesn't work.
I enjoy when a joke doesn't work, and I love Tired Jim. I've loved Tired Jim for 11 years.
Travis enjoys when a joke bombs.
We used to have blind boxing back in the day when we were young and stupid. Not that young, but younger than we are now. And we didn't have any special starts. That
was just it. The bell rang and you went.
Yeah, one guy popped his eyes out. He's no longer with us. He died, man. He was a good dude too. Worked for the city, but
blind boxing.
His name was Matt. I remember his name to this day.
Yeah, he always laid in front of the door.
There he is, Blind Matt versus Blind Dave.
Oh God!
And Blind Dave wasn't as blind, so we put. We covered up his eyes to make him totally blind, and then but there's Matt. He goes, "No, I'm blind," and he pulled his eyes out. He pulled his fucking eyes out. This guy, his blindness did not stop him from living his fucking life. Anyway, we would set him up in two corners and let them figure out where the other guy was.
Each other and just start
that was the best part of the whole bit. They would be just punching the air, hoping they were going to
kind of hit somebody.
And then all it took was one.
Yeah, and then you knew where
one
he was.
strike, and then all hell would break loose.
Of course, that's a great idea.
We were very lucky on that one because Matt actually really knew what he was doing and beat the shit out of Dave. Dave broke ribs.
Wow.
Had a bruised spleen, if I remember correctly. He was in fucking trouble. He was in trouble. He had medical problems because of our stupid radio show.
Your thing.
Yes.
Your little stunt.
But in the end, he was okay. He was always a good egg doing great bits for us over the years.
I remember that. Am I in any of these pictures at this first one?
There's Billy Staples from the old days. I don't see any pictures of Jimmy. Were you there that day?
Steve, I remember when it happened. I just don't remember if I was there.
I don't see any pictures of you, but yeah, we did the.
That might be Norton. Is that Norton's laughing right there? No, that's somebody holding.
This?
No, right there. Yeah.
Oh God, no.
No,
he's holding a brewski.
He's holding a beer, so it's not you. Yeah,
the good old days. Look, everyone has a beer in their
Everyone's
hand.
drinking a brewski.
Crazy.
9:00 in the morning.
No, we did afternoons.
Oh,
back
okay,
then.
all right.
Then again, there's no pictures of Anthony in this little run either, so maybe they just didn't.
I saw a picture of me and there's Ann right there. I saw another picture with me and him in the background. So
I was chugging brewskis.
Wow, flight attendant. Really? Let me say hi to Andrew in Indiana. Andrew, go ahead, sir.
Hey, I just wanted to talk about there was a flight attendant in LAX that got caught. She was trying to get through security. She had 70 pounds of coke on her, as well as condoms. And she basically dropped the bag and basically got out, and the TSA didn't even catch her. And that's a huge loophole that the flight attendants can go through security without their bags being checked out in California.
I did not know that was possible.
So how much coke?
70 pounds?
70 pounds coke, condoms, and she was wearing Gucci high heels that she basically just threw off and started running. And,
she ran out of the airport?
Yeah, they didn't even catch her.
Is this? Well, they're going to know who she is.
It was from she was going from LAX to New York.
How long? Like today?
This was it happened on the 21st, I believe.
Oh, okay,
Monday.
Yeah, before the terrorist attack.
I mean,
because I'm thinking, why would anyone take any chances?
I've seen them. Is that one of those things where every airport's different? I've seen them be stopped and make them put their luggage in. I've seen them cut the line, which I hate. I hate it when they get to walk right to the goddamn front.
Why
but they
don't you
still
say
make them.
thank you bunch of cutters? They always say that.
Don't they have their own line though?
No,
I've seen their own line.
Oh, have you? I think it's different at different airports. I don't know.
They get randomly screened, so she just happened to be randomly screened.
And you know how much she must have fucking panicked when she knew she had 70 pounds of cocaine?
She's like, well, maybe they won't see it.
That's smart, though, knowing that you're not getting
threw her
checked.
shoes off so she could run faster.
But they're going to know who she is.
From what I read, she showed people her ID, but nobody bothered to get like a name because.
Oh, so she might get away with it.
Airport cameras.
They're going to know. Now I'm pulling for her, though. No, now in the modern society.
No, what flight was one person light? And who goes
exactly?
Who goes through alone?
Yeah, you would think that it would be easy to figure out who she is.
They're going to know who she is.
I hope they don't
it's just
ever.
a matter of time.
I hope it's D.B. Cooper revisited.
Yeah,
I just hope. No, I'd love it for it to be in this modern day world. If this woman has gotten away with this, where there are cameras and ways to catch you doing everything,
I agree with you.
If she's ripped off her shoes and ran out of the airport away from 70 pounds of cocaine and gets away with this, absolutely.
Yeah,
they'll catch her.
Oh, yeah, they will catch her.
DNA on her shoes.
I'm sure.
Thank you, Andrew.
She carried her shoes.
All right, man.
She's got DNA on her shoes.
70 pounds of coke.
Where you at with this Brussels thing? Just deeply
delicious.
Deeply depressed.
I don't know.
I finally turned off the news. I'm like, fuck, man.
Somebody put I saw a meme of Tintin. You know the character Tintin.
Yeah.
And I thought I was like, if Tintin was really doing his job, this shit would have never happened. It was like one of the first horrible things I thought.
Wow.
But you know, it's just a goddamn mess. It is a pile of shit.
They can't protect us from those soft targets.
Doesn't look like
it. And everyone knows it's just a matter of time before it happens here somewhere.
I hope to God not, you know.
Of course.
So, you know.
Who's hoping for it? But
Vic is.
But it's just so
secretly
fucking depressing.
No, that's what I'm saying. Rarely do things make my stomach hurt. And like, I woke up and turned on and saw all that, and it just ruined my whole. It's terrible. You can't help but feel bad. It's cowardly what they do. It's fucking idiotic.
Did you think that Obama should have came back?
I don't know. You know,
he only spent like 53 seconds on it, which is pissing off a lot of people.
Right, he's making everybody angry. I know.
I think it takes the piss out of it that he didn't run home.
No, he shouldn't have run home from Cuba because something happened in another country. Whole fucking planet.
That's what I'm saying. Then you're going to have to knee-jerk react every time something happens somewhere.
Yeah,
go on your Facebook. Yeah. Everyone is pissed off.
No, I know they're all mad.
Come back to Washington immediately.
Well, of course they are. Like what's he supposed to do? Stand in front of the Capitol building? It's like, what do they want?
George W. sat there and read My Pet Goat while September 11th was going on.
He was trying to keep calm.
Okay, right.
That was a fucking moment, though.
So potato.
Yeah. But then they're like, you know, Obama was at a stupid baseball game instead of coming home to deal with this. But
what's he supposed to do? He can't do anything.
I'm kind of with you.
You know, what's he's supposed to do? What he did, make a statement.
Exactly. Miss the game.
Offer you.
I mean, you know, and there's bigger issues, but the game was a good game.
The game was a good game. They had
it
churros.
was 6-6 in the fourth inning.
They had churros.
He was sitting next to Raul Castro.
Yeah, good God.
And he had his whole family there.
But yeah, the whole
Obama.
That Cuba thing is obviously a big deal.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
It's money.
I don't know what Obama was supposed to do, and I would assume he did a few things while he was in Cuba.
Well, of course.
Got his intel and whatever else he needed.
No, he wasn't just totally hanging out in Cuba, playing dominoes.
I think he was fine.
There's just a whole bunch of people that really hate Obama and just can't wait to jump on this type of thing.
They took the picture of, I saw where somebody posted where they took a picture of him in front of the Che Guevara murals in the background. But then they showed all the other presidents in front of all these other, like Reagan in front of a Lenin statue. They showed the Obama's not the first guy to be.
Someone tweeted, "Oh my God, here's Obama in front of
a communist."
The dude from Urban Outfitters.
I like that.
Something like that, or the T-shirt. I don't know.
T-shirt
I forgot exactly
from American.
It made me laugh pretty hard. It's like, oh,
that's what he's known for now, right?
From the dude that's on my Urban Outfitters T-shirt. I think that's how it went. But a little wordy, but it still made me laugh.
No longer the communist revolutionary, just a logo.
But now what? And then you got a whole bunch of people on Facebook. They want the whole, Islamic religion to go away. I mean,
well, it's not going to go away. But I would say this to the Islamic religion: could you guys just fucking
calm down a little bit?
Yeah, but you just, could you just handle your disagreements a little differently?
Have a beer.
Well, they certainly
or something.
Take a hit off the hookah.
Yeah, or have a hummus, which is
very good.
Yell at each other.
Yeah, don't have the Hamas. Have the hummus.
They want more and more people to hate the Muslim, the Muslim faith. That's their goal. They want a holy war.
Well, they're running
East
out
versus West. That's what they want. So they want you to go on Facebook and hate them. That's exactly what they want, because then they figure, well, that'll make more Muslims see it their way. That's exactly what they're trying to do.
I can't believe it. Is it because
so as soon as you go on Facebook and start hating on it, they're like, okay, good. This
how
is
many
what
of
we
them
want.
are there? What's their total strength of forces? So they're an army.
1,800.
I knew you would know. It's got to be, because isn't there a way? There's got to be a way to know. We can take pictures of satellites from the fucking out. So no, I don't mean. I mean the
Actually
ISIS
fighting?
army. They're troops on the ground. Yeah. What are their army? Where we should know where they are. We should be able to see them from outer space. We got all kinds of satellites.
Yeah.
So you can't form together some coalition force and just go in there and mow it down.
It's
is it because they're in Syria? Is it because they're partly in Syria, they're partly in Iraq?
A bit more complicated, and then they're mixing in with the refugees, and then Europe's going to.
So
have...
it's not just like an army in the field.
This is
it's a little that and a little everything else.
This is only the beginning for Europe. They're going to have some fucking major problems with this as we move forward, and certainly we're going to have a little some of it here in the United States.
Blowback.
It's pretty obvious. Yeah. But
I would be on the phone calling all those leaders should be talking to each other, going, "Can we get together and form some kind of super team?"
What I was looking up yesterday, they don't really have a number on it unless someone else could help me. I was trying to figure out how many people have died because of ISIS so far.
They must have.
I saw a number like 170,000.
You mean like innocent people, civilians, just in the wake of it all?
Yeah.
In the wake of the
because of
mess.
ISIS, how many people have died so far?
Shit, I hope it's not that many.
I saw one number, 170, but then there was a few articles saying we can't really pinpoint the exact number, and there's some estimates. So,
good God,
yeah.
I hope that's not true.
It's so weird. Like these two brothers, they woke up.
Boy.
And they brushed their teeth for the last time, knowing they were going to... Do you brush your teeth on the last day?
I wouldn't.
You know it's your last day? You're going to commit suicide? Do you brush your teeth before you leave the house?
No, I don't.
And then...
I was stinky.
And then they get a cab, and... the cabbie was trying to help them put the luggage in the trunk, and they were like, "Don't touch our fucking luggage."
Oh, red flag.
They didn't say it that way, obviously, but it was over 70 pounds, really heavy. And then, the cabbie reported it, and then they were able to figure out...
Wait, the cabbie reported after or before?
After, it's basically saying it was a bit suspicious, and then they were like, oh, shit, these might have been the guys, and they were able to figure out where they lived. And
They're
then
brothers.
They went to where they live, and they found all sorts of shit.
Are they suicide bombers?
Suicide bombers.
Their mother's pussy should be sewn shut.
Well, it's a little too late for that.
I'm just saying, so she doesn't pump out any more fucking these disasters.
A little too late.
Yeah.
But they started their day knowing they were going to fucking kill themselves.
Yeah, I know how they feel.
A dude I knew sold a show to the BBC in London.
What was it called?
The Jihadi Family, and it was the Jihadi Family. It was an animated show, and they were always yelling jihad, jihad, jihad. But they had been so westernized that they were just stoners and never did anything about it.
That's kind of a funny.
And it was a really funny. And then the London subway, the London bombings happened, and he had the deal greenlit. It was going to be a show, and then the bombings happened, and it took the show away.
Like, we're going to wait a little.
We can't go forward with the Jihadi Family, but I would have loved to have seen that. I always thought that was a great idea.
Let's say hi to Chris in San Diego. Chris, go ahead.
Hey, so they're just saying basically there's 1 billion Muslims worldwide, and, everybody's saying, gotta get rid of this religion, blah, 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 but not all Muslims are bad. And they're saying, 15, 20% of the Muslim religion are these extremists that want to go around and hurt, people throughout the world. Well, if you break down the math, that's almost 300 million.
Yeah.
That's basically the populace of the U.S. So we basically have 300 of these extremists throughout the world at any point in time want to strap something on and go be destructive.
Well, out of the 300 million, not everyone is brave enough to actually strap something on, though, if you really want to break down the numbers.
Yeah, a lot of girls say they will, but...
Yeah. That's nice. I like it.
But in the end, they're only into the heavy padding.
Yes. I loved where he was going.
But I hear what you're saying. So what is your suggestion? How do we handle this? Do we have an all-out war and hope for the best?
Well, how do you handle? I mean, there is no way. It was pretty interesting what Ann Coulter said on your guys' show about how easily Trump could have the wall built and he wouldn't need Congress's approval for that. So, I mean, there's definitely ways to do that. And the U.S. has always got to live by the NATO rules, and we always shoot last and we don't shoot first. Do you take the eye for an eye approach? And, do you defend your land? You come on here, we go towards you? What is the answer?
I don't know. I really don't know because they live among us. We don't even know who the enemy is.
Yeah.
They really don't know where these people are living. Turns out the one guy they were looking for in Brussels was living 4 houses down or 4 buildings down from his parents. And it took them months to find that guy.
Kind of hiding in plain sight.
Exactly. So, I mean, there used to be a time where we knew exactly who the enemy was. And then you could plan accordingly. Huh?
They wore uniforms.
Well, I always thought that was stupid. Like why would you wear the Civil War and all? I mean,
the Revolutionary War.
The Revolutionary War is even
That's
worse.
where we started getting them right there. Okay, you guys wear red. You guys all wear red.
Why would you do that?
We're going to wear whatever we want. We're going to hide in the trees. Right. You guys wear red and walk in a fucking straight line out here.
I would have ditched my uniform.
That's what I'm saying. I'll be up here in the tree stand with my fucking deer rifle, and you put on your pointy hat and wear red and blow a whistle.
I'll make believe I'm a farmer, and then I'll decide if I'm going to get involved or not.
The accent would have fucked you. Hi, look, lovey there. Come on in there. Look at my slaves. Do you want to say me slaves?
You guys are 100% right. I mean,
I'm from Georgia. Oof.
Huh?
We broke the rule. We broke the rules, and we were guerrillas then. I mean, during the Revolutionary War, there was a general for the British that had Washington in his sights, but it's back to him, and he said that's not the gentleman thing to do, and he let Washington go. And that's the whole reason why we won the war, was those Kentucky kids with those long rifles were snipers. And we've never done that before, and we went straight after the generals and the captains in the field, and we took away their leaders.
Yeah.
And that was an ungentleman thing to do, and we did it because we needed to win that war.
No, we were just crazy kids with a mixed up dream.
The best part of the Revolutionary War was the guy who just marched into the battlefield playing a fucking fife. What?
Drum.
How stupid are you?
The drum and fife.
Are you kidding me?
Mom, I'm going out to get us some freedom. Take your gun. No, I'm taking my piccolo.
How bad did you want to be in a band?
Yeah, drummer really had it rough too.
So
guys shooting at you from behind the tree.
nothing like playing a loud instrument.
Yeah, to gain attention to where your position.
Right. So the enemy knows exactly where you are. Let me ask you this: do you think that really happened? I know we've seen the pictures and we've heard the story, but were there really people that just fucking played the fife and the piccolo on the battlefield?
I'm sure that could be researched. I'm sure you would have to be.
Were they the first ones in, or were they just kind of the background?
This is a Battle of Monmouth reenactment.
Do we know for sure they were the first ones, though?
the drum and the fife were out front.
That's crazy.
We don't know. I don't know. But
in Vietnam, they said the tuba player was always the first one to die.
Got him every time, right in the minefield. every time.
Yeah, they would be like, they'd be quiet. Charlie's coming.
All right, Chris. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thanks, boy.
All right. Yeah, I got to go to Scott in Virginia because I read about this kid. Go ahead, Scott.
This is great, Scott.
Hey, what's up, Bo?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, there's this one survivor, and they had an interview with him on the news today. He survived the Boston bombing, and I want to say the Paris bombing, and then this Brussels bombing.
Look it up.
So did I, but I wasn't there.
I read this thing, and I was like, come on, there's got to be some kind of fake website. Supposedly there's a kid. No, we're going to look it up. But it is the Paris bombing.
Oh, great. He's playing a bomber.
So he survived the Boston bombing.
It's a mastermind.
What?
I said he's a mastermind.
He survived the Boston bombing, the Paris attack, and now the Brussels terrorist attack.
Come on. What are the odds of that? I mean, I've been through a couple myself. You know? But not that many.
So how many?
2.
Which ones?
The 93 Trade Center bombing and Gulf of Tonkin.
All right, fellas, I'm going to roll.
Gulf of Tonkin.
Oh, I'm tired.
Vietnam.
This kid's not as lucky this time, though. He's
been hurt.
Seriously injured.
Oh, wow.
But he survived the Boston bombing and the Paris attacks. Was he just in Paris, or how close was he to the Paris attacks? Could you read that fast, D-Rock?
Was he at the show, or was he fucking...
And find out. And who's on the hotline? It has to be a big star. Who's on the hotline?
It's Mr. Rich Boss.
Hi, Rich. How are you?
Good. I just wanted... Norton was fucking hilarious last night.
Oh, thanks, man.
I watched your whole set, and then when... You wrapped it up. That's when I walked upstairs.
Okay.
But it was really fucking funny.
Oh, thanks, man.
And I wanted to tell you that
but I left.
All right, well, thank you, Rich. It was good seeing you.
I'm being like a caller right now. I'm not, being the big entertainer I am.
Yeah.
I'm just complimenting my buddy Norton.
Thank you, Rich.
Very impressive. Vic, how's it going?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Good. Good to see you're on dry land. Anyhow, I really have nothing at all. I just wanted to compliment.
Thank you, Morris.
If you have nothing at all, thanks for the call.
You could have at least plugged Bonnie's book.
Bonnie's book is doing very well.
Book. You should have at least plugged Bonnie's book.
It was a nice surprise to see Voss last night.
He made it there. That's awesome.
Yes.
Bonnie's Unmasked was very good, too. Turns out this kid was in Paris, but in another part of the city. So this is a stretch.
Yeah. I survived 9/11.
Yeah, exactly.
Me too.
We were a mere couple miles away when that went down. That's a stretch. And where was he in the Boston bombing? Does it say?
Probably in Maine. Having a lobster.
A lobster.
Chowder.
This guy knows about the drumming in the Revolutionary War.
Okay, cool.
Let's say hi to Josh. 2 calls in one day?
No, he's probably kidding.
No, not 2 calls in one day.
Another Josh.
Tired.
Yeah. This is the regular Josh.
Okay, what do you got, Josh?
I hear you, Josh.
I'm just joshing. Fuck yeah. So, from what I've heard, the drumming is true, but they were the first one shot, and it wasn't because I'm sure they were in front of the line, but they were the ones, revving everybody up to get everybody ready to go fight. So they were trying to take those guys out right away, it was going to put a damper on their mood, and they wouldn't want to fight if the drummers were
They're so stupid.
They're also keeping everybody in the neighborhood up.
They got to take out the 12th man.
How did we figure out how to put a country together? Jesus.
No clue. But yeah, there's a bunch of books and shit about it that I, of course, heard on Audible, and yeah.
And
that's all what it is.
And the first British soldiers to die, they were in Concord, right?
Lexington, I thought.
Lexington.
I mean Lexington. You're right, because they actually have them buried right on a bike path. Right off a bike path in Lexington, right.
And by the way, there's no way
first 3 British soldiers to die.
There's no way they were sad when the drummer got shot. You know how annoying it is when you're trying to fight and the drummer's there banging away and you finally you go, and then and you're like, oh, this is going to be good.
I got some peace of
You're
mind.
glad. Yeah. I can think now. I'll be able to aim now. Yeah. That goddamn incessant drumming has stopped.
Fucking awful, clumsy drumming. It's like drum line.
You hear the drum clang down on the ground.
They reenact that on Patriots Day every year. They do that reenactment down there in Lexington.
What, the first British soldiers to die?
Yeah, the first battle.
But they're buried right there, right? You can find a picture of it. I checked out the site in my underpants.
I love stuff like that.
Because I was...
that's what you should do.
I was kayaking with my friend, and I fell in the fall, and he got bummed because we just started our kayaking, and I'm like, I'm good. I'll just dry out my fucking jeans on the kayak, so I did the rest of it in my underpants, and then I wanted to check out where the first 3 soldiers died in the Revolutionary War, so I got out of my kayak in just my underpants.
That's great.
And checked it out.
That's really... Tidy whities or boxers?
A box of briefs. People were not happy with me.
I bet.
I'm like, whatever.
You want to go to famous historical sites and then drop trout and walk around in your underwear. That's
and then finally
good.
My shit dried up for the ride home, back up the river.
Photo I tweeted you?
I'm sorry, buddy?
Did you see the photo I tweeted you?
I did not.
I sent it to you and Chip. It was on Tinder. I found it this morning.
All right.
And it was a hot chick wearing a shirt that said Chipper State.
Oh, we'll check that out.
I'll check that out. She sounds like a really lovely young woman.
All right.
I'll tweet it to you again.
Thank you.
It was early this morning, so I'll tweet it again, and right after I have the phone with you, I'll tweet it so you can see it.
She might need her butthole kissed.
She might.
All right, Josh. Thank you, buddy. Let's go to Dallas. Wow, Jerry Jones doesn't think, speaking of Dallas, he doesn't believe in the CTE.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
No.
There it is. They're calling him brain dead in the Daily News today.
Well, that's because the Botox.
Fucking asshole.
Despite medical proof and NFL's own admission, the NFL pretty much admitting it now.
Sure.
They have to. Jerry calls link between football and brain disease absurd.
Right.
Yes, this is the man who let Jimmy Johnson go. He's a fucking idiot.
No, he's an idiot. The Botox is sank into his brain now and frozen his whole thought process.
Well, he's saying there's not enough data.
No, really?
To say football could lead to brain damage.
No.
Not updated. They're studying the brains of the ex-football players.
You can look at the
die.
X-rays. You can see it. It's right there in black and white. Literally.
What a dick.
No, how stupid are you? God damn.
What a dick.
Yeah.
This isn't going to affect him.
Real Sports pulled back the curtain on this 5-6 years ago and badgered the NFL into submission finally, and then he's part of this and going to actually, now you're like the tobacco executive just sitting there going, no, smoking's good for you, you fucking idiot.
And he's way up there in years, so this isn't really going to affect him. He made all his fucking money.
He's not. The more he's become involved, the less successful they've been.
Right.
I believe.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that some
I like that aspect of it. I love it that he's got a $200 million turd. The fact that they went 4-12 last year was hilarious, and I got no problem with Romo. But this motherfucker, I like to see him fail.
He's a real cocksucker. I'm a Cowboy fan. I don't like him.
I went to that goddamn Super Bowl that he was at the first year, and he'll never get another one. That was a pile of shit. He handled it wrong. It was an ice storm. They had no contingency plans. It was a fail on every scale of the imagination. An ice storm had hit Dallas
which was so rare.
Totally right. But he had one. There were like 19 million things wrong with it. I don't think he'll get another Super Bowl for a long time. Yeah, he totally shit the bed on that one. And I was in the middle of it all, just dog cussing him because they just keep pushing us around, fucking like from cattle cars, Auschwitz. So they're just moving us all around the stadium. 3 hours outside the stadium, no security, fucked up security. It was a pile of shit because he was just so focused on. He wanted to break a record for selling the most amount of tickets.
Were you there just as a fan, or you were doing things?
A friend of mine, when her husband can't go with her sometimes, I get to be her +1. So I've gotten to go to, she's taking me to 3 Super Bowls. Yeah. She's a friend of mine. She's taking me to 3 Super Bowls.
What is that about?
It's just a friend of mine I've known.
And why doesn't the dude want to go?
Because they have a kid. Sometimes he has to stay home and watch the kid. Well, he's gone 3 or 4 times. I'm just saying, he can't go every year.
So they go every year. Well,
she goes every year.
Right, gotcha.
And so I'm in the rotation. She'll take her dad sometimes. She takes her husband. Nice. She mixes it up. No, it's really cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, she's a powerful woman.
So anyway, Tony, go ahead. Sorry about that.
No worries. I like what Vic was talking about with that Super Bowl because, that fucking sucked. I'm not from Dallas. I'm actually from Houston, but I live in Dallas. And Houston's already getting up there, Super Bowl, Vic. So it's kind of a big fuck you to Dallas. But so anyway, I've worked for this company for about 8 years called ISIS, ICIS. And, things are fine. I mean, it was a good company up until this whole ISIS thing. These jihadists started coming around and pretty much forced the company not to change names yet, but they're definitely looking at a name change. But
you got it.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, you kind of have to. It was one of those things where I would go to a conference every year in Boston, and I was always like, "Oh, hey, you're with ISIS. Welcome. Thanks. Thanks for giving us some business at this hotel." And eventually, 2 years ago, you kind of notice like a tone with these. Just everywhere we went, when we were booking conferences at hotels, they wouldn't say ISIS. They would actually say it by the actual ICRS or the actual acronym. They would actually say it out loud, like, "Oh, hey, you're with the Independent Commodity Information." Like, come on, asshole! You don't have to say the whole fucking name out. Just we're still ISIS, man. It's just, I mean, we had some buddies just filling out loans, filling out bank statements and whatnot, and when they ask you, well, where are you employed at now? It's like, well, I work with ISIS. It's kind of like a big red flag for people.
Yeah, you guys got to change your name.
That's so bad. This is like the AIDS candy.
I was going there, Vic.
The AIDS candy.
I was going there. We're on the same page today.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, not only that, I mean,
find the AIDS commercial, Eric. We haven't played it in a while.
Yeah, no. Well, there's a show, TV show, Archer, where I think the main character, Archer, was. Like his organization was ISIS too, and they just eventually did away with it, man. So
you know about this, Eric?
Yeah, the secret agency for the government that ISIS
Archer
works for is called ISIS.
It's called ISIS,
and they had to blow it up, and now they're trying to build a new company. So.
And with a different name. Yeah, it would be tough to book your company called ISIS at a hotel.
That's what he said. He literally could see the changes from year to year, how it got worse and worse.
This is in the old days, way back in the day, there was an actual product called AIDS. We haven't played this commercial in a bit. Check this out.
The AIDS diet plan helped me get back into a size 6.
AIDS helps control your appetite so you lose weight. Yet AIDS lets you taste, chew, and enjoy. And the appetite suppressant in AIDS is not a stimulant.
AIDS helped me lose the weight and has nothing in it that could make me nervous.
Question: why take diet pills when you can enjoy AIDS? AIDS helps you lose weight safely and effectively. Use only as directed.
Use only as directed. No shit.
Chocolate and caramel.
No shit.
2 flavors.
Wow. All right.
I'll never forget that as long as I live.
And that's why ISIS has to change the name of their company. It's not good for business.
Oh, there's a company named ISIS?
That's who the dude works for.
Yeah,
They
Tony
called
from
in.
Dallas. He says they're
funny.
getting a lot of shit because their company's called ISIS. Ace is here?
Yes.
There's Ace Frehley. How do you say his last name? People say I say it wrong.
How do you
Frehley?
No, Frehley.
Frehley, that's what I say, right? Hey, Ace.
Hey, man.
Good morning, sir.
Hello.
How are you, buddy?
I'm great.
You looking great.
Thank you.
With your Motorhead T-shirt.
I was going to say, that was where I was going.
Nice.
Right. A little Lemmy tribute.
Right. We were trying to figure out. I got your first question. Who sold the most solo records when you guys all did the solo record? We all said it was you.
I believe I did.
I think you did.
I mean, mine went highest on the charts, my single. You know, Gene might disagree, but no.
He disagrees with a lot of things.
Yes, that's true. He's a contrarian.
We heard a Gene Simmons story yesterday. In the bathroom, one of the urinals, the partition, one is really fucked up, and it turns out Gene went in there in full costume and he couldn't fit in the area to take a leak, so he ripped the fucking thing off the wall and threw it into a stall, and then they put it back up, but it's still not right.
Shit happens.
Shit happens. That's rock and roll, right?
You tried to get him on the album, and he just didn't work out, huh?
You know what? He just, I don't know what's going on with Gene. He was really busy. I tried contacting him like 3 different times. I called Doc McGee, and he never got back to me, so.
You think he's pissed at you?
Excuse me?
Is he pissed off at you think?
No. Me and Gene go way back. But I was really surprised when I called Paul, right out of the gate. He thought it was a great idea.
Oh, you just said you want to do a...
I said, hey, I'm doing a covers record. I'd love you to participate on the track. And he said, oh, that sounds like fun. I mean, Paul was very positive and up about the thing from beginning to end.
What track did you do with Paul?
Fire and Water.
Oh, nice.
Oh, right on.
Did you ask Peter or no?
Do I have Peter? No. I'm on the West Coast. Peter's on the East Coast.
Oh, okay. So is there any shot? I know it's a stupid question, but now that you guys all seem to be talking, right?
Excuse me?
You guys are all talking a little bit?
Yeah, we all talk from time to time.
All right. I never know you guys, because sometimes it's like,
the press blows all that negativity out of proportion.
They do, right?
Yeah, Paul calls me a Nazi, and it's, it's ridiculous.
It's a little hard.
Yeah, we're all family, and,
You guys get together and go, all right, did you call me that? No, all right. You just go through the laundry list. All right, how much of this shit is real? How much did they fucking make up? You and Paul Stanley, first time in 18 years doing a track together, or recording a track, I should say.
We produced it together.
Freeze, Fire, and Water, which is a great song. We're talking about the album, obviously, Origins, Volume 1. The new album's out April 15th. And it's all covers, right?
It's covers and remakes.
And remakes, okay. I see you guys are you're doing White Room, Street Fighting Man, Spanish Castle Magic by Hendrix.
Wow. I love Spanish Castle Magic.
Ace Frehley just pulled out a laptop. Who thought the day would come
there? You would say
where
that
Ace would be
right?
pulling a laptop out of his bag.
It's a lot easier than referring to notes and stuff. Yeah, I started off the record and I wasn't that excited about it. It was like the record company wanted me to do a covers album. I'm like, all right, let me get this out of the way so I can sink my teeth into another studio record. But once the process began and I started, picking the songs and started tracking them, and then what really made it take off for me was getting the guest stars on the record. Slash was the first guy to play on the record. He played on Emerald.
Oh, wow.
We traded off leads. We got Paul involved with Fire and Water. I got Lita Ford on Wild Thing. Mike McCready from Pearl Jam on Cold Gin. And John Five from Rob Zombie's group on Parasite and Spanish Castle Magic. The Hendrix track.
Oh, the Hendrix.
And did you ask anybody else who didn't do it besides Gene, who was just too busy that you kind of wanted to get in there but couldn't?
I don't know. Gene never got back to me. I wanted to get Gene on, but
anybody else though?
Anybody else
just because of scheduling?
Anybody else besides Gene? Like, was there anybody?
Was there anybody I tried to contact?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, it just, I always wait till the last minute. I mean, I got Lita Ford, Paul Stanley, and John Five all on the record in one weekend up in L.A. Yeah.
Fucking Ace, that's great. Hey, I'm doing an album.
And Mike McCready. We all did it within a 4-day period.
Hey, I'm doing an album. Are you busy tomorrow?
Yeah, I need you tomorrow.
Bye.
Can ask me sooner than this. How was Lita Ford? We had her in here.
Oh, she's great. We just did a couple of shows together. She opened for me in Los Angeles and Vegas. I just finished my last leg of the tour, and we're starting back up April 1st.
Yeah.
So, me and Lita go way back. The Runaways. They used to open for Kiss.
Oh, did they?
So I've known Lita for, 40 years plus?
Man. Shit, that's a good show. I'd love to see the young Runaways and the Young Kiss. That would have been
Did you guys
amazing.
party together?
Excuse me?
A little partying going on between the two bands back in the day?
Party?
Partying.
Yeah. I was talking, Lita came over to my house for a New Year's Eve party a couple of years ago, and she started reminding me that we got drunk one night and closed the bar. And I'm agreeing with her because I love her, and I have no recollection of the event. But I was taking so many pills in those days. I had blackouts constantly.
What were the pills of choice back then?
What was the who?
The pills of choice.
The what?
What pills?
What pills?
Yeah.
You name it.
Quaalude.
Yeah, until they became illegal. Then you had to get the Mandrex from Australia, Europe.
So you'll
there you go.
I don't know if they're still making.
If somebody brings up memories you don't remember, you'll just kind of go, yeah, I remember.
Well, if somebody gets really excited about something and it's going on and on about it, like I went to this. My friend opened up a club in Vegas. And who was there? The keyboard player from Angel. Remember Angel? Angel
Vaguely.
came out a little after Kiss.
I remember Angel.
We were all black. Angel wore all white.
Oh, right. Okay.
Horrible.
Neil Bogart was trying to, groom them as the opposite of Kiss almost. It didn't really fly. But,
no, it was horrible.
they're all great guys, and we all became friends because we were on the same label. We bump into each other. But, I'm talking to Greg Giuffria, who's like a billionaire now because he invented he's got a patent on the sound on slot machines.
Oh, my God.
So every time somebody uses a slot machine, he gets a couple of pennies. So and he's driving to
He was an Angel?
Yeah, the keyboard player in Angel. He drives.
How much money is he worth?
After we left the club, I walked out. He's in this specially designed car. I go, how much was this? He goes, $2.5 million. Just for a fucking car. I drive a Bentley. That's expensive enough.
He was smart enough to figure that out.
Jesus Christ, that's crazy.
Well,
the sound a slot machine makes.
It wasn't that complicated back in the day.
Yeah, but nobody else decided to do it.
Amazing. Was first starting.
Right,
he was smart enough to get the patent.
Wow. How much do you think he's worth from that?
I think he's a billionaire.
A billionaire.
That makes sense.
Of the sound a slot machine makes.
And you think the rest of the band is still trying to talk him into a reunion?
That's exactly. Dude, we got to get the Angel tour
Come on, let's go back out.
Come on.
So he's drinking. I'm not, obviously. And he goes, hey, so remember the time we robbed that car in Detroit? We were leaving a club. We didn't have wheels, and we just stole the car and took off. I'm going, yeah, man, that was great. I have no recollection.
No recollection of that.
You don't remember robbing a car?
Well, I remember stealing a car from the Fountain Blue with my bodyguard in Florida, in Miami. We were leaving the hotel, and the show had just gotten out, and we were going to get a cab or a limo. Everything, there wasn't anything available. So all of a sudden, I'm buzzed out of my mind. Some guy pulls up a Cadillac, and he goes, "Mr. Rosenblum," and nobody said, here I am. So I said, here I am. And we jumped in the Cadillac and stole it.
Where'd you drop it off?
We just brought it back to the hotel parking lot and just left it.
Oh, it's funny.
I'm sure he got it back eventually.
Yeah. Oh my God! That's rock and roll.
Somewhere, Mr. Rosenblum.
Scott Shannon told me a story about you guys. I forget where you were. It was in the 74, 75, where you guys were on some promotional tour and you got fucked up. And Gene and Paul.
Really?
Yeah. Do you remember that one? And Gene and Paul didn't want to wait for you, so they just kind of left you.
Yeah.
They left you already, and you and him were hitchhiking.
Yeah. Oh, that was. I think that was in Sweden. I had to. We were in this seafood restaurant, and like in the middle of it was like a 3-foot pool of water, and if you order a shrimp or seafood dish, it would come in a boat, radio controlled boat, and would come to the table. 'Cause all the tables were around the pool. So we started chugging beers. Next thing you know, I'm inside the pool, making believe I'm King Neptune. And water splashing up on other people's tables. I mean, it was just crazy. So,
are you eating any of the food that's going by?
I don't know. I wasn't really concerned with food at that juncture. But Bill O'Coin was in. He goes, "Hey, the cops are coming. You better get the hell out of here." And I just took off and hitchhike home back to the hotel. I don't know how I got back.
This was Scott Shannon. He said you guys hitchhiked together, and some guy picked you up in a pickup truck, and you guys were all in makeup, but he just thought you were a Kiss fan that had gone to the event.
Somehow I seem to remember that.
Yeah, Scott. It was probably in Detroit or somewhere in New York.
I was just going to say, that sounds like Detroit.
Yeah, it was here. It definitely wasn't in Sweden in a pool, but he told me the last time.
Let's get Scott Shannon on the phone.
He's been on the air.
It's 10 o'clock. He's done.
Oh.
He's done.
Do you remember giving me a birthday cake with a girl's ass on it and a chocolate log of shit sticking out of it?
Vaguely.
Okay.
I was in the studio.
Here.
Right here. A few years back.
A few years ago.
Yeah.
Kinda.
That's when you've lived a full life. When you mix up the countries in which you were forced to hitchhike because your friends left you, and you don't remember a cake with shit coming out of it.
It was.
That's a hell of a life.
I think it's actually better. I don't remember some of the stuff, but when I'm working on the second book, and what I've been doing is hooking up with old friends, and every old friend has at least one ace story.
Right.
So I'm taking notes.
So you're hoping they're telling you the truth, though, not just blowing up their own punk.
Once people start going on and on about something, usually part of it comes back.
Oh, okay. So you'll get a bit of it. And
what's the worst?
Jog my memory.
What's the worst ace story someone told you that you did not remember?
I don't know.
You don't know? That's what
I don't know.
Where you're like,
did you see that thing online? That cartoon about me?
No.
I'm talking about I was in 3 different countries in one day.
Mm-mm.
God. How do you get online here? What's the password?
We could do it over here.
Oh.
We could do it over here and pop it up on the big screen.
You want the link?
Yeah.
God. I have to get online to see the link.
What's it? We can Google it.
It's on his Facebook page.
Google Ace cartoon.
Yeah, Ace Frehley cartoon.
Or Ace. They did one of me, one of Lita Ford, one of Ozzy.
Oh,
it's brand new. It's only been online about a week.
He's on a Kiss cartoon. It's just you.
It's on his Facebook page. I'm being told.
I think it's on YouTube.
What's your Facebook? Is it just Ace Frehley?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go there.
No, it's not on my Facebook. It's on. Oh, that's it.
Yeah, it's on his Facebook.
It's the one,
Corey Taylor's got one.
Watch the first 3 episodes.
That's it. This is pretty fun.
Epic Rock Tales.
And I'm talking on it.
All right, let's. This is Corey Taylor.
And this I remember very vividly.
Wait, this is.
I'm very disappointed. I kind of laid on the couch.
That's Corey Taylor.
Corey Taylor, yeah.
Come on, Paul, find Aces.
We're trying to find it for you,
sorry.
Ace.
You rock.
What happened?
He played the wrong one. He's just not a bright boy.
Right? Could it be if you click on the Ace Frehley link?
Yeah, with the ACE.
Is that possible? Will that get us to it?
No, that's just Kiss.
Ace Frehley, not ruling out Kiss return.
That's it right there.
Oh, Epic Rock Tales with Ace.
Okay, here we go.
I talk about being in 3 different countries and it ended off very nicely, actually. I mean, I remember once we were on tour and I woke up in Canada. I had dinner in Texas, and then we ended up in Mexico City because we had a stadium show the next day. It was like in 3 different countries in one day. breakfast in Canada, lunch in the U.S., having dinner. And then I get to my hotel room. In the lobby is this really cute Mexican model. And she had blonde hair, so very rare in Mexico. Most of them have dark hair, so I invite her up to my room. Within an hour we're having sex. And I look on the TV, and she's on the TV at a commercial, like for some car or something. I just thought that was so bizarre. I just met this girl, I'm having sex with her, and she's on the television, doing a car commercial. Go figure.
Well, at least she wasn't on TV for a fucking Valtrex commercial.
I have to correct something.
Go figure.
Now that I remember, she was a Swedish model in Mexico.
Yeah, that's why she was blonde.
That's why it was rare.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Wait, let me ask you. This is in the 70s?
Excuse me?
This is in the 70s when you were still actively in Kiss?
When the hell was it? No, I think this might have been on the reunion tour.
Because before you guys took the makeup off and you wanted to fuck girls or whatever, how did they know it was you? How would you let it? I mean, there was no cell phones for them to take your pictures, but how would you tell a girl, like, no, I'm Ace?
They kind of knew. I mean, we'd walk, we'd come into a town with snakeskin platforms and scarves and,
All right.
our hair. I mean, we all looked like rock stars.
So it was a whole thing.
Yeah, people would just say, what band are you in, and then, but, people figured it out.
All right, so that's
we were playing in town, Hey, I'm Ace Frehley. I'm playing tonight. You want to go to the show? Here's a couple of tickets.
Did they ever ask you to put the makeup on and fuck them?
Well, sometimes they would say, don't take it off after the show.
Yeah.
Okay,
and I'd say, well, it's kind of messy. They go, we don't care. What happened? A couple of crazy sisters in Detroit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you close with Lemmy?
I wasn't. I only met Lemmy a couple of times, and I had the opportunity to jam with him at a fundraising event for sober musicians in L.A. Slash was there, Lemmy was there, and he was great. He was such a sweetheart, and I'm sure I hung out with him because he lived at the Rainbow, and I used to, I used to go to the Rainbow and take a handful of pills and have half a dozen drinks. Next thing you know, I'm laying on the floor in the bathroom, people stepping over me. I mean, I remember that, and I'm going, God.
Yeah.
I've seen better days, but
that's not a particularly clean bathroom either. I believe.
No, but I'm sure I had a couple of drinks with Lemmy way back when, but that's why I'm wearing this.
Yeah.
For Lemmy.
Yeah, it's funny when you
Greatly missed.
Yeah, man, he was really a nice guy and
sweetheart.
You don't realize how many people loved him until he dies. Then there's all these guys doing tributes, and it's kind of. I like the all-star shows too. I like when you guys do each other's gigs. It's kind of fun to watch you be appreciated, and the guys from Kiss be appreciated by like younger musicians, the Foo Fighters, and all those guys.
That's very flattering.
It is, right?
There's all these Kiss bands. There's this guy I know who's bought actually a couple of my guitars. He's a doctor in Canada. And he just sent me these pictures of him. Finally, he admitted he's in a Kiss cover band, and he plays me. And he sends me these pictures the other day. You gotta look at it. This is this doctor.
Oh wow!
Who dresses up in a suit.
Jeez.
And that's him in a Kiss cover band.
That's pretty close.
And that's very your close. Guitar.
Yeah,
he's a good guitar player too.
And he's got your guitars. He bought a couple.
Yeah, I sold him a couple of my guitars. I got so many.
How many guitars? I was going to ask, how many you got? If you had to guess.
Probably about 100 now.
100?
Oh, wow.
I used to have about 150, but, I mean, what do you do with 150 guitars? I can't even play 100. I have my favorite 10, 15, 20, and the rest just kind of sit there and collect dust. Somebody offers you $50,000 for a guitar. I go, yeah, I can buy a car with that,
What's your most valuable guitar that you just have for...
Oh, I don't know.
No.
What's the one? Is there one that you like the most?
Some of my vintage ones, maybe my black one and my Cherry Burst.
Do you have them all the way from back in the old days? Are there any of the original ones you still have?
Oh, yeah, from the 70s, sure, I have a couple.
So those are not about finances. That's like a kind of a sentimental thing.
Yeah, I mean, I got rid of some of them because, I mean, like I said, people are offering, I sold them for $75,000,
Is there one that has such a great sound that you would never sell it, no matter what?
Well, when Gibson remade my Budokan about 4 or 5 years ago, the custom shop actually aged it and all the scratches and everything. They reproduced. They did a run of like 50 or 75. And then they did 3 different versions. They did the aged version, which they sold for around $20,000. And then, the unaged version for around 10, and then like a Gibson USA version for maybe 5 or 6. But, what was the question? I'm trying to remember what the hell Gibson did, and I forgot what the hell you asked me.
Is there one of your guitars that has such a great sound that you wouldn't sell it for any price?
The original Budokan sounded amazing. It was that Cherry Sunburst, but I had like 4 of them. So when a guy offered me $75,000, I said, "It's yours."
No problem. Here it is. Of course. I'll wrap it for you.
When you guys were working, how often would you wash your costumes?
How often would I
wash? How often would they get washed if you guys were on the road?
Well, we had a couple of chicks that did our wardrobe, so, that wasn't something I worried about.
Oh, but did they smell?
My costume was good because I always had the jumpsuit under, and then the pieces just... So the jumpsuit, they just, I just take off, they throw in a washing machine, Gene's costume maybe was a little more funky, in the early days, he had crabs all the time, and God. Sean Delaney, my road manager, would take all the leather outfits and throw them in one trunk, and obviously the crabs went from Gene's costume to mine, and to Paul's, and to Peter's, and we all got it, but,
You all got crabs at the same time?
Yeah, pretty much.
What a nightmare.
Well, if it wasn't from the costumes,
rock and roll.
If it wasn't from the costumes, we might have all screwed the same trick,
girl,
right? One way or the other, you get it.
But Gene was always getting the crabs?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Would you guys carry like crab medication with you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you just had it on?
Oh, it was in the road cases,
Shaving the pubes.
Yeah.
You gotta get the rid comb.
But, it was an occupational hazard.
Yeah.
And we also, every 3-4 weeks we get a shot of penicillin.
Jesus.
And it was weird because I remember in the 80s, the whole complexion of the music industry changed once AIDS hit. And I remember even for myself, I was a lot more cautious because, you just don't want to sleep with anybody thinking that, you can get something that's going to kill you. I had a road manager who died of AIDS.
Oh, wow.
And, it's not funny.
How did you avoid getting girls pregnant? Were you a condom guy? I hate wearing them.
I hate condoms.
So were you just pulling out, or were you just fucking, lucky shooting?
I try to pull out. Didn't always work.
No.
What happened?
Yeah, it's kind of hard. There's nothing worse either when you're dumping someone that you shouldn't have. That's a frightening feeling.
Did you see that site on Facebook some guy put up a couple of years ago, and it's like really popular? It's called Ace Calling.
No. Now we got to look up Ace Calling.
Ace Calling Facebook.
Ace looks back at E-Rock. He knows.
It's funny as shit.
And what is it? Let's we're taking a look at Ace Calling.
There's one. That's the one with Trump.
Oh, the stupid Ace Frehley Facebook fan page you need to join. I'm just reading this. So what is it? It's just...
I'm trying to find it. Hang on.
Okay.
It's pictures of me and other celebrities with phones. It's hysterical. But some of the captions are a riot. Me and Spanky.
Oh, it's not even audio.
No.
It's just
some of the captions.
Rodney with a phone and the Beastie Boys. You got Trump.
With Trump, it said, now who's it quoting, you or him?
That's Trump talking.
Yeah.
What does it say?
It says, you want to know my favorite moment on the Celebrity Apprentice, Ace? When I fired Gene Simmons. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. And it's 2 pictures, obviously, Trump on a phone and you on a phone.
Yeah.
Do you like Trump?
I like Trump. I don't know if he'd make a great president. He's got kind of a, I don't know. He's not very diplomatic,
No, you think...
I love the guy, but I don't know if he'd make the best president because he's kind of used to getting his own way, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he likes to call, he's name calling and fire. I think we need somebody with a little cooler head in the White House.
When you're dealing with the entire world.
But I love Donald Trump. He's a wonderful guy, and
But we're
funny guy.
We're tormented though too because political correctness has gotten completely out of hand. Yeah. So it's kind of nice that he's blown that off.
Well, it's a nice change, but I mean, you know, I don't want to end up in World War III because he tells somebody to go fuck themselves.
That would be the rub.
But I love him. I think he's
that
great.
Quote should be on every newspaper in America. That's it right there.
Would you do Celebrity Apprentice?
Would I?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Who's the guy now, Arnold?
I don't know.
Schwarzenegger.
Is it Schwarzenegger?
Yeah. I don't know. Was it even on TV?
I don't know if it's aired yet, but I think Schwarzenegger was the guy who
took over.
Him.
No kidding.
I'm pretty sure.
What about Dancing with the Stars?
Me?
Yeah.
No way.
Can you dance?
The only time I would ever dance is when I was drinking.
Right.
And since I don't drink anymore, I guess I don't dance anymore.
Were you good when you were drunk dancing?
Huh?
Were you a good dancer when you were drunk dancing?
At least I thought I was, but you know.
You never know.
I would just let it all hang out. You know, I used to dance at Studio 54. And one night I was dancing with the Bionic Woman.
Lindsay Wagner. Yeah.
That was fun.
Did you hook up with her?
Huh?
You hooked up with her?
No. She was with some guy. I just cut in. I had big balls back then.
I just cut in.
Studio 54 was supposed to be such an amazing hang in the 70s.
There was nothing like it, and there will never be nothing like it. I mean, one day I walked in there, it was early. Nick Nolte was sitting having a beer, and I had just watched this movie, North Dallas 40, and I sat down, you know. And of course, you know, it was the 70s. So, I mean, Kiss was one of the biggest bands in the world. So I just said, "Hi, Nick, I'm Ace Frehley from Kiss." He goes, sit down, have a beer with me. That was Studio 54. I bump into Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, you know, sitting up in the balcony. I mean, wow. I walk into Steve Rebell's office, there'd be a mountain of cocaine. He goes, "Hey, help yourself." I mean, you know, then there'd be a bag of money over here. I mean, it was a lot like the movie. The movie depicted, you know.
Pretty accurately.
A lot of it was accurate.
Yeah.
And was it hard to meet girls there when you were a rock star?
No. No. That's where I went.
Yeah, that seems like such a fun time.
Oh, it sounds amazing. Did you guys get along with the Stones when you saw them out and about?
Yeah, I mean,
pretty much.
I remember once I went to see the Stones play at Shea Stadium. Do you remember when they played Shea Stadium?
I don't.
It probably was.
What decade was it?
That's a good question. I think it was in the late 80s.
Oh, all right.
Was it late? All right.
Early 90s. When did the Stones play?
Man, I would say they played before that, but
89.
Okay, no, you nailed it.
89?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got my manager at the time, Chip Racklin, knew the Stones really well. We got backstage, and next thing you know, I'm playing ping pong with Keith Richards. You know, and my wife is completely losing it because she's a huge Keith Richards fan. You know, and I'm just having fun. And that's all I remember. I don't even remember the show.
So you played ping pong with Keith Richards, but have you ever played guitar with Keith Richards?
No.
That's going to be a short chapter in your book, there, Ace.
I got to hook up with some people that were around. I bumped into John Kay in January. Because I was doing the Rock Legends cruise, and Steppenwolf was on the same cruise. So he remembered that in 1970 I was roadieing at the Shea Stadium Peace Concert. You know, Steppenwolf, Janis Joplin, Johnny Winter, and, you know, fantastic.
Was Hendrix on that or no?
Hendrix wasn't on that show. And they put me to work in the dressing room, and I'm changing the strings on John Kay's Dane Electro clear plexiglass guitar. And he walks in, and he goes, "Who are you?" They put me to work. They told me to change the strings. So I'm changing the strings. You know what he did? He helped me feed the strings through the holes, you know. I said, you want to take over? He goes, "No, you're doing a good job." And I brought that up to him a few months ago when I met him on the cruise, and he remembered.
Was that the first time you'd seen him since then?
Maybe.
Wow.
And I say that in true sincerity.
That's why I said wow. That's great.
But he remembered the kid that helped him with the guitar.
Yeah, well,
back
let's
in
see.
1970.
It was 1970. I was born in 51, so I was 19.
Were you Ace then? Did you always go by Ace?
Oh, I got the nickname Ace when I was about 16.
Okay.
Well, you wonder if he knew at that time, this kid that helped you with the guitar, he probably had no idea that you went on to be who you were.
I was the only one that knew. I told everybody that I hung out with in the Bronx that I was going to be famous.
Yeah. And he got Ace because he was good with the girls.
Ace High.
He was good with the girls.
I did all right.
And you were also in a street gang? I don't know if you've ever talked to us about that.
I was in the Ducky Gang.
The Ducky Gang?
Yeah, they're in the Warriors.
The Ducky Boys, absolutely.
The Ducky Boys.
Are they a real
yeah.
gang? I didn't know they were a real gang.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, we were kind of, there was the older Ducky guys who started the gang, and then there was kind of the junior Ducky, who were like the younger brothers of the big guys that were in the Ducky Gang.
You were the Cub Scouts.
The Ducklings.
Ducklings.
So I was like a brownie.
Right.
But we hung out with the bigger guys, and we went to Rumbles, and it was crazy.
Were you a good fighter?
No. But I have beer muscles, When I'm drinking, I'm not afraid of anybody, and I'll fight anybody. And I'll get the first shot, and 9 times out of 10, that wins the fight.
Right. But you got beat up in Rumbles?
Not bad, no. I could run, too.
Oh, okay.
It's part of the Rumble. It's the escape from the Rumble.
You ever go back to the Bronx and see any of the Ducky Boys just wandering around, some of the old guys?
Most of them are dead or in jail, or I don't know.
It's been a long time.
Moved away. I mean, I was back in the Bronx about a year ago. I did a special for the Village Voice. You can look it up online. And they took pictures of me at my old playground and where I used to hang out with the Ducky Gang, and where I lived and where I went to school. And DeWitt Clinton High. D would see, it smells like shit to me. DeWitt Clinton.
Has the neighborhood changed at all?
Huh?
Has the neighborhood changed?
Yeah, it has.
I want to hear him sing that again.
People who like people are the luckiest people in the world.
Do you like Sometimes When We Touch? That song?
Dan Hill.
That's stuck in my head constantly.
No, not really. But you know what I sang one night at a karaoke bar? Feelings.
Morris Albert.
I was with Anton Fig, and we were drunk on sake, and next thing you know, I get up and do Feelings.
I wish there was a tape
video of that.
I wish there was a tape of that.
That would be gold. Yeah,
Yes.
that would be pure rock and roll gold.
Wait, did you sing it well, or did you think that it was a bit off key, or was it okay?
I faked it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I got through it. That was about it.
It's a lovely song.
Huh?
It's a lovely song.
Yeah.
That's just sad.
It is.
I'm not a fan of the sad
Well,
song.
just because you're a rock star doesn't mean that you can't like some nicer, softer song.
I like all kinds of music, There's one thing about me a lot of people don't know, and I want to do it on my next record, is I'm a really good blues guitarist, but I don't think I've ever... I mean, I think there was one song I did on one record called Remember Me, which is kind of like an up-tempo blues song. But, I used to go see Albert King, Freddie King, B.B. King.
Wow.
All the King.
All those guys.
Oh, you're actually at B.B. King's for a plug, April 11th and 12th in the Paramount here in New York on the 13th. Pardon me. So you're doing 3 nights here in the city in April, and I'm definitely going to go to at least one of them. And Origins Volume 1, it's a new cover album and remakes, is out April 15th, which is, again, a month away. So I kind of wish it was out now.
Would you ever do the, that Experience Hendrix thing where they put the guitarists together and they all tour around and they play Hendrix? Would you ever... Do you know what I'm talking about?
Isn't that what Zach Wilde is doing? I saw Zach Wilde the other night here, and I think he said they're actually out touring doing Hendrix
they
stuff.
mix up different guys every year. They get different guitar players every year. They've had Ernie Isley. They have Kenny Wayne Shepherd.
Who does what?
I call it Experience Hendrix, and it's a tour, and they just play Hendrix music the whole time, and it's usually a different group of guitarists every year.
I love Hendrix.
This would be ideal for you.
I love Zach, too. Zach's, me and Zach became friends. We're on the same label now.
Oh, okay.
On E1.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's a good man.
He's a great guitar player, great guy.
Yeah, but he's doing that Hendrix tour. I guess they're just getting different guys.
It changes every year, but it's all. I saw it a few years ago, and I've given it to people tickets as a gift. And if you like Hendrix, it's a goddamn good show, no matter who they get. It's always somebody really qualified. You know, they've had Joe Satriani and fucking all of the who's who of guitar players. It's Ernie Isley from the Isley Brothers.
Really?
Yeah. He was 1 year.
How old is he?
So it's like an all-star band.
That's what it is. Yeah. Every year they just pick different guys.
An all-star jam.
And Hendrix. Ace and Hendrix. Who wouldn't fucking want to go see that?
Sure.
I got to check. Well, you got to hear my version of Spanish Castle Magic.
Well, we should play one of your songs.
Do you have any of the new ones in the system or no?
Yeah, what do we
Travis is saying we don't have any of the new songs.
Oh, do you don't have any of the music on you there, Ace? We'd like to promote the album properly. Play something.
I'm not supposed to do this.
We would have to.
Just do it.
But it's not going to be through a mic.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I'll give you 15 seconds.
It's very far away. It takes about half a day to get there. If you travel by dragonfly. No, it's not in Spain. But I was saying, it's a desert land. When the moon sees
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, that's good, man.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
good,
that's great. Thanks, buddy.
Right on.
Me and John 5 put that together.
Very nice.
I enjoy Ace very much. One of my favorite people. Ace _Frehley on Twitter. And, again, BB King's, and the album is April 13th. So,
April 15th.
Sorry.
April 15th.
The
Tax Day.
The Paramount in Huntington's April 13th live gig.
This is this like 4-week period. It has me chomping at the bit. I'm talking to interviewers who've all heard the record and love it. I know it's a great record. I really believe it's one of the best records I've ever done. But nobody else has heard it, so I gotta wait until everybody hears it, and then I get the feedback.
We didn't get a copy of it.
Yeah, you didn't give us one, Ace.
Yeah, I would love to have heard it.
We're interviewers.
Well, I'm sure.
We're interviewers.
I'm sure Bill can figure that out for you guys.
Okay, yeah.
If they would have gave us one, we could have maybe played a song on the air. We're interviewers.
I wasn't even supposed to do that, but
yeah, no, that was cool. I appreciate
that. Was great.
That.
You guys have an exclusive.
Ooh,
yeah,
I like it.
I think we're wrapping up.
Yeah, we're done.
We're done, Ace.
Right. Well, it was a pleasure as usual, gentlemen.
I think we got all the plugs in. Jimmy's hitting the road this weekend.
I'll be in Portland Friday, Denver Saturday.
And right. Vic Henley, always a pleasure, sir.
I'm in Magoobies next month in Baltimore and get Live from Lou's Cruise on iTunes.
You want to do a few pictures?
Yeah, we'll do some pictures. What else we got? Is it podcast day, Eric, or is that tomorrow? Tomorrow. And then the YouTube channel, Opie Radio. Subscribe to that bad boy. We're putting up a lot of videos. What do we got up there right now? Us reacting to the general warts in the asshole from yesterday. And what else? Other shit. Just go there and check it out for yourself. We tweeted a bunch of the videos today and yesterday. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, Ace.
My pleasure.